We are the North. This is kind of an intro. That's a Miller football. I'm pointing the wrong direction. I'm still pointing the wrong direction. I'm the worst. It's tough, man. We don't know what to do. We don't do the intro. Though apparently we're going to have to learn how, based off recently. Uh, Miller, what is your deal?
My camera's wrong. It was in the wrong spot. There we go.
How you been, wrong cameraman?
I've been good. I recently made some financial decisions that I'm pretty happy with.
Elaborate.
So you know how I said I've been getting back into Transformers?
Oh no.
I rewatched the Transformers show on Netflix.
Robot and Optimus Prime.
I did. And he's sick as fuck. He's got an axe and a gun, dude. He's dope as hell.
I bought a camera. Well, the stuff to
This
make
guy.
the camera I bought work. And that's why I can now,
Practical items.
Well, yeah, it's like it's my job. Yeah, my
Insane.
camera autofocuses now, so that's pretty cool. I can show stuff off. That's fun. Couldn't do that before. Had a $500 camera that couldn't autofocus. Wonderful.
Damn. Have you had any work done on your tattoo?
No, not yet. It's still healing because, like I said, I had that allergic
That's why
reaction
it looks
to
different, because it's healing.
Yeah, it's finally, not looking like it's infected. So it was never infected. It just looked not great. And it's like all, level now. It's no longer like rigid. So it's close. I'm close to being able to go and get it finished. It also might look different because you can actually see it.
Yeah.
Because the camera is slightly better.
So that reminds me. Thor, Chris Hemsworth, did you see what his next big role is?
No.
He is playing Optimus Prime, quite ironically. And they released a trailer for it today, and I'm very conflicted. I don't either. Because on one hand, at least it's not like traditional. So, do you know anything about Transformers?
Not at all. I know one.
Okay.
I know that the one guy has voiced Optimus forever. So
yeah, Peter Cullen.
Yeah, that's his name. I knew that.
Yeah. So the gist of Transformers, like the history, is Optimus Prime was a robot named Orion Pax, and he was friends with this other robot named D16. And they were in two different like classes, but they were both working class robots under a tyrannical ruler. And Orion Pax worked as like a librarian, and D16 worked as he did like slave labor and then got upgraded to being a gladiator. And then D16 fucked up all the bad guys in the gladiator ring and became Megatron and like started an uprising. And the whole spiral out of control is Megatron took over and then created a power imbalance where he was the new dictator. So Orion Pax tried to stand up to him, gets killed, and is reborn as Optimus Prime. It's a whole crazy shebang thing. But basically, this movie that's coming out is about them before they're Megatron and Optimus Prime. So, like, on one hand, it's like at least he's not playing the same version. But on the other hand, it's like that's Chris Hemsworth can't be a robot.
Oh, that's not even my issue. It's just you're having Chris Hemsworth voice Optimus. That's not going to work.
No, it's not. Even though it's supposed to be a young version of him, it doesn't work at all.
No.
Like, the trailer is not promising. It's him, and then Scarlett Johansson plays a robot named Alita 1, who is Optimus Prime's girlfriend.
So
she actually,
Thor and Black Widow are fucking. All right.
Well, they're not fucking. They can't reproduce. They're robots. They just have a connection.
So they're just friends then?
No, they're special friends.
I don't know if that's true.
Okay. It's like okay. To put it plainly, it's like they're asexual but romantic. So
that
works, right? Because there's a whole
other
thing for if you don't do romance. It's aromantic.
I don't know how any of this works. I don't claim to. All I know is basketball happened and the Bulls are about to be fucking stupid.
Kobe White.
You shouldn't be cheering.
White. Why?
Because the Bulls are about to actually make the playoffs, which means they don't fix team. They just run it back.
No, they're gonna sell Levine, not sell,
No,
trade
they
Levine.
aren't.
Yes, because he's doing nothing. He's not even a part of this run.
Is he hurt? I don't know.
He's not playing. There's a reason Kobe had 42 last night. It's because Zach LaVine isn't playing, and they're actually letting Kobe run the offense, or be the primary scorer, rather. Kobe White's that dude,
I don't
man.
know. What the hell?
I'm so happy that
is Zach LaVine hurt? I don't. What's going on?
He was tweeting during the game, so
Yeah,
I'm going to
he's
go out on a
hyped for
limb
his
and say he
team.
wasn't playing.
Well, I know.
yeah.
I know he's not playing, but like, is he? Oh yeah, he's hurt.
I was kind of hoping they just benched him.
I was hoping that they benched our best player.
He's not our best player.
Okay.
Kobe White is better.
Chill. You mean the guy who's been benched 4 times? Chill. Got benched for Alex Caruso. Yeah, he put up 40 last night. Woo. No, the
Dude,
Bulls?
I haven't even
Why
been...
would I watch the Bulls?
Okay, I haven't even been paying that close of attention this season, but like the majority of the NBA fan base is like Kobe White most improved, broke the Bulls record for 3-pointers made in a season.
Yeah, most
had
improved doesn't mean best player on team, though.
No, it doesn't mean best player on team inherently, but when he's the only player that's doing anything on the team, he was objectively the best player on the Bulls this season.
Probably, because apparently Zach LaVine's been hurt the whole fucking year.
I just hope they trade him and start over.
They're not going
trade
to.
Levine.
They're making a playoff
let DeMar
run.
walk.
Come on. No, they're going to re-sign DeMar, keep Levine, and just run it the hell back.
This is why I don't pay that much attention to basketball, because the Bulls make me sad, but I like to see Kobe White succeed.
The Bears don't make you sad?
Not nearly. Well, no, because the Bears I care about. They make me sad, but it's a different type of sad. The Bears, it's like an emotional, like visceral feeling. With the Bulls, it's like, oh my god, you guys are fucking idiots. Sad's
That's how most of the world feels about the Bears. Oh my god, you guys are fucking idiots.
Yeah, who's getting Caleb Williams a week from today, buddy?
Who's gonna ruin Caleb Williams? It's gonna be so unfortunate.
This guy rooting for Caleb Williams' downfall.
No, I just root for the Bears' downfall, as most NFC North fans do.
This guy doesn't like the Caleb Williams paints his nails. Berate him in the comments.
I love that we're making up stories again.
I was really hoping you were just going to do that.
I don't have them painted right now, though. Golly.
Okay. The one day where you don't have them painted, I try to make the joke to set you up
right?
Perfectly.
It's very unfortunate. Don't worry, I'll have them painted for the draft. I'll paint them for the draft. Don't you worry. So moving on to kind of news. Also, I guess the whole point of this episode, I'll tell you what we're doing today, now that we're 10 minutes in. We're going to do a predictive mock draft. Me and Miller are going to have to argue until we come to a consensus on what each pick will be. So I don't think we make it past pick number 2.
Well, no, I think we'll make it past 2, but we won't make it past 3.
True.
We definitely won't make it past 3.
True. For sure, no. The Lions got new uniforms, and so did the Jets.
The Jets are just a better version of what they had.
No, well, the Jets are their throwbacks. It's just better of what they had. What they had was not similar in any way at all. I don't know why people keep thinking they're similar. No.
Hold on.
No, only these throwbacks were the same. That's it. Which these just became the regular ways. They had a single stripe and it was on the chest, not even on the sleeves. Everybody saying that they're similar is just stupid. And then we have people like Grayson. The Jets' new uniforms suck because they're the same, but the Lions are great even though they're exactly the same. They just changed a singular color.
Okay, so I'm seeing way too worked up over this. Jets uniform now because they're just the New York Sack Exchange uniforms.
Yes, which is awesome.
Dope as fuck.
And then there's an all-black version, which I love.
I think the problem with the Jets uniforms, why everyone's misremembering, is the Jets had like 3 moments last year that mattered, and all of them came in these uniforms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So everyone just associates the Jets from last year with those uniforms, and we're like,
I agree.
Same thing. because what Rodgers tore his Achilles. They had the big overtime win with the return,
Yep.
and there might have been a third thing that happened.
I don't know. Maybe. Probably not.
But those two were definitely in these uniforms. And then the Lions, I really like what they did. I know it's a very subtle change, but I think it was a good change. It was just a modernized version of what they had.
Yeah, I hated what their uniform. So I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is I've seen people say this is a top 5 uniform in the league now, and no, it is not. They went from bottom 5 to middle of the pack. Good job.
Okay. I disagree with the black ones. The black ones are fucking cold.
Oh, I love the black one, but it's an alternate, so it doesn't matter. We don't get to rank the Vikings as the best uniform in the league because of the throwback. They get to wear it once.
If we're just talking home and away, then yeah, I will say I'm sad they went away with the gray. I really liked the Lions gray uniform.
I'm
I know
so
I'm the only
glad
person
the
on the
gray is
planet
gone.
that
It was
feels
so
that way.
bad.
I liked it because
I'm
was
also
different.
glad the helmet is gray and not silver now. I know that's a weird, subtle thing. And bringing back the blue face mask is good. I still would have preferred black. Just like I would have preferred black accents to white, but it's fine.
Well, yeah. See, the funny thing is all of the problems you have with the normal jerseys is just applied to the throwback or the alternate, not the throwback. Like, dude, these throwbacks. I keep wanting to say
alternate is
these
so
alternates.
sick. And I love the blue helmet, and I never want to see them go blue, black, black. I want the blue pants with it every time. That is the best look ever.
Did they show that?
Yes. Well, I don't know if they did. I saw it on
I'm just seeing all black.
NFL Fashion Advice, one of my favorite Twitter accounts.
Yes, of course.
They definitely posted a picture where I saw
Okay, let me see.
Blue, black, blue. Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs rocking the blue pants with the black jersey. Blue, black, blue.
Let me see this then. Because I was just looking at Google Images.
Oh, I would send it to you, but it would fuck up the recording, so I can't.
Well, it's right here. I got it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for Gibbs, you say?
So the tweet is a picture of Aiden Hutchinson pointing, and then Gibbs like back to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the blue, black, blue.
Ooh,
blue, black,
God.
blue. Don't ever go blue, black, black. Gotta be blue, black, blue.
Top comment: absolutely hideous. It's just Carolina. No idea why they thought this was a good look.
Just because colors are similar, which they're not even really.
They're not even the same blue.
No, and it's not even close to the same blue.
No.
But like, just because colors are kind of similar does not make things the same.
These jerseys, I will say, do have my biggest peeve when it comes to NFL jerseys. It's starting to become a trend, and I despise it.
Oh, the like perforation?
No, the chest text. I hate it. I despise it. It's not
always been a thing?
It's too collegey for me. I don't know. Maybe it has been, but it's starting to become more prevalent.
Sure.
Because the Cardinals, when they just redid their uniforms,
I think it's because teams are using giant text now. Because the Vikings, it's like so it used to be like.
Yeah, the little bit
the
that's
Vikings
like right
just has like
a
little gold right there that just says Viking.
That's
nice.
fine. But where it's like, the little Vikings one was fine,
huge.
but like the big,
I get you. I get you.
Like the Cardinals were the prime example of the Lions. I don't think are as bad of offenders, but
and the Lions' homes don't have writing at all. Yeah, which is odd.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd go that route either. The blue face masks are so nice, though.
Also, I gotta say, I love the blue helmet. Shockingly, I didn't think I would. I also love. I know the Lions are owned by the Ford family and sponsored by Ford, but I love actually working in the Motor City like Ford theme into everything you're doing now, because they didn't used to, but now they're working it all in. I'm sorry, that's what Detroit is known for. So make that part of the gimmick, and I'm glad that they're starting to. I love the 313 on the back of the jersey too. I think it's just on the inside collar, but I love it.
Did you see the leaked Texans helmet yet?
Yeah. Yep. I'm excited. I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm excited by it.
It's interesting. I'd have to see what uniform it would be paired with to really have an opinion, but it's different, and I like that it's different.
I think it's going to be something either Houston blue or battle red.
Yeah.
Because it's a city edition jersey, or like uniform. I know it's not
Uh-huh.
a city edition because that's not a thing, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
The city edition uniform. And
Yeah,
I'm hyped.
I need more helmet stuff to come out because they just passed the rule where you can have a third shell.
So that is only going to be happening for the teams releasing new uniforms right now. The third shell can't happen for most teams until next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a this year thing. Okay,
But we
so
can
next
still
year.
hope for a couple teams to release new single shells. The Vikings have been rumored to. And
Yeah.
I hate being the guy who's hoping for an all white, but we've done a winter whiteout game 2 times in 2 years. If we're going to stick
Yeah.
with doing a winter whiteout, have an all white and just do it right.
Yeah, that's fair. Where's my? Yeah, I was looking. I have the Bears alternate shell up there.
Yeah.
I forgot I had it for a second. I love the Bears orange helmet. I know people despise it. I fucking
No,
love
the
it.
orange helmet's fine. I just hate the orange uniform.
I'd like to see them updated.
Do like orange and white. Do it orange on white. I don't know.
What they need to
I don't
bring
know how to
back-
make the orange shell look good. You're also just trying to be the Browns and Bengals, so maybe knock it off and like do something
No.
cooler.
The Bears existed before them. They
Don't
can't
care.
copy them.
Okay, except yes, they can. The Bears didn't exist with an orange helmet before they did. The Bears copied that. No,
Listen, you know what would look really good with the orange shell?
what's that?
Google the Bears 1947 throwbacks.
Bears 1947 throwbacks.
These are the best Bears uniforms, in my opinion. And I think you could rock the orange helmet with
Okay,
these.
yeah, that'd be pretty fire. I think that'd be dope.
Because you've got the perfect contrast. The big blocky orange numbers with the orange helmet, and then the rest of the navy jersey with the navy C on the side. I think that would go crazy, personally.
Yeah, that'd be
Or
pretty
at the
dope.
very least, the Bears just need to bring these uniforms back. I don't give a fuck what helmets with them. I just miss these jerseys.
See, the issue is they just could. Because that doesn't require an
Yeah.
alternate shell. They already use that shell.
So, is there a rule on how many jerseys you can have in rotation?
Probably. Which is lame also.
Yeah.
I
Let
don't
us all be the fucking Oregon Ducks, dude.
Right? That'd be so sick. I don't know. I don't know what NFL teams would lean into it, and we know the Bears wouldn't because history.
I don't know. I think the Bears. Okay, so the Bears are starting to make some moves to finally get themselves into the modern age.
Maybe.
Like they just hired somebody. I forget the guy's name, but he's essentially like an assistant to the CFO, who's going to be in charge of making a lot of the, like just another voice in the room. And Kevin Warren seems to be a very progressive, head. I think his title is CFO. I could be wrong. Team president. He's the team president. So him coming in, and then Poles is a very progressive guy. He's been trying to push to hire more scouts and specifically put more women in positions of power in Chicago. So I feel like the Bears are starting to move out of the Stone Age and become like a more progressive organization. They're still 15 years behind the rest of the league.
No, but I just think there are certain teams, the Bears, the Packers, like teams that never change their uniforms, really. I think,
Yeah.
like if the Oregon Duck rule was a thing and you could just have as many uniforms as you want, I think teams like that wouldn't do it.
I don't know.
I don't even know
think-
if the Vikings would, and it annoys me.
I think if you had that rule, more teams would do it than you think.
Probably.
It's just that they wouldn't be used as much as people would want.
So real quick, are you using your like actual microphone?
Yeah, does my mic sound wrong?
No, but it's like got a I don't know what a buzzing sound only when you talk.
Great.
And I'm just
Fantastic.
I like thought I noticed it and wasn't sure, so I've been like trying to focus for it. It's definitely there. I don't know how to
Hold on
fix
one
that.
second.
I don't know
How
if
does this sound?
loud, but fine, I think.
I switched over to my. Is it still buzzing?
No.
Okay. I just switched my microphone.
The
Thanks for a
webcam?
second. Let me move that out of the frame.
Oh,
for
we're
a
back
moment,
to the
yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah,
I
no,
switched it to the webcam for a second and then switched it back on.
I think you're good.
And there's no buzzing now? Yeah.
Cool.
The turn it off, turn it back on mentality. Let's
So
go.
that was what I was gonna say. I was gonna be like, you might need to just unplug, replug.
I just switched it in my
Yeah.
settings and it worked.
Sick. That
But yeah,
works
no,
too.
I really do think if you had that rule in place, a lot more teams would act on it than you'd think. It's just they, instead of, doing like a different uniform every week or whatever, it would be like we'd have 4 weeks set aside and you'd get to see each different uniform once, type of thing.
Which sucks if you're just gonna have 4. Just like, I don't know, show me them 4 times. Just alternate them all the time and do something cool.
Right.
I don't know. I just wish NFL uniforms were allowed to be more fun, and they just refuse to have fun. And then for some reason, people cry when they have fun with jerseys. The Falcons gradient jersey looks sick, and people hate it for no reason other than
I've never been a
gradient
big
bad.
fan.
Why does everybody hate gradients?
It's fine. I don't have anything against it. I'm just not a fan. I don't love gradient. It's just not my thing.
I don't know. Apparently, I'm just a gradient fan, which makes me a
Yeah.
bad person, I guess. I don't know.
The I don't know, the gradient guy.
But don't worry. Monday and Tuesday, we get Broncos and Texans uniforms.
Ooh. Oh yeah, the Broncos ones are supposed to be.
Awful.
I'm excited for those.
Everything I've heard, they're going to be awful.
Really?
Yeah, because they're going to be orange, and then the sleeve is going to be blue, and then white, and make it look like snow-capped mountains. And that's too gimmicky, and it's going to look awful.
I think that's cool.
Of course you do. Hates gradient, loves stupid idiot gimmicks.
Yeah, it's corny as fuck. I love that shit. Also, the Texans uniforms got leaked already, so like.
No, the aways got leaked by their owner.
Oh, that's right. We only got one. That's
and
right.
they're literally dropping 4. So.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're still waiting for something good. But yeah, time to do a predictive mock draft. And so with the first overall pick, the Chicago Bears, what are they gonna do? I'm really unsure.
Yeah, this is a tough one. They've met with so many different players at so many different positions.
Yeah.
And they really could go any direction.
Yeah, I mean Marvin Harrison Jr., just run with Bajent as your quarterback.
Secret Bajent, man.
You could always
Joe Walt really sure up that offensive line.
Brock Bowers,
No, they have Cole Kmet.
But I don't know. I've seen many a Bears fan say you can have both. So, they could go Dallas Turner.
No, I think they'd go Austin Booker if we're talking edge here.
That's definitely possible. Could always be Xavier Worthy territory. I mean, he's fast, so
I already clicked Caleb. Can we just drop this bit and move on?
I was having fun with it. I don't know. It's boring knowing the pick, man. So
Did you see Louis Riddick shit on the Bears today for that?
Why?
He said because the Bears only had a one-on-one interview with Caleb after the combine that they aren't doing their due diligence.
When you know who you want, you know who you want.
Right. Dude, at the end of the day, they know who they want. They've watched the tape. They know who impressed them the most on tape.
It's not even why waste your own time. Because
it's why waste their time.
Yep. What good does it do to bring Drake May in?
Exactly.
What does that do?
Right.
Make Drake May think he could go 1 when he's never gonna?
Right.
And that's not me hating on Drake May. It's just dude, come on. So Caleb, Bear, yes. Very unfortunate. I have to stop being a Caleb fan in exactly 1 week. It's tough. It really is.
This guy, no loyalty.
Well, I have loyalty to my team and loyal to hating the teams in their division.
Your loyalty is wrong.
I could say the same thing about you, B-Man.
No, you can't because I'm better.
No.
Which one of us is wearing a Post Malone shirt right now, buddy?
Yeah, well, which one of us is wearing the Geek Slays shirt? TheGeekSlays.com. Got him. Cheap plug.
Editor, edit that out.
I'm the editor. I will be leaving it.
Editor, edit that out as well.
How rich do you think we are? We don't have an editor, bro.
Why did your accent just change?
Don't ask questions. So with the second pick, the Commanders, what are we gonna? Don't judge the way I say "r," you bitch.
Your accent completely changes when you say the word "r."
It does.
Why?
I don't know.
And it's a familiar accent too. It's like, okay, this is gonna be conspiracy time. You picked that up from like a YouTuber or some shit, because I know there's a YouTuber that's very famous that says "r" like that.
I don't think so.
I feel
None
like
that I
Irish
watch.
people say "r" like that.
Bro's yelling at me for being Irish. How incredible.
I'm not yelling at you for being Irish. I'm just trying to decipher your vocal patterns.
Dude,
because
can't.
This is unusual.
My vocal patterns are unusual. That's what makes me entertaining.
You know what? That's fair.
So, I'm crying. So the Commanders.
I mean, look, it's the wrong pick, but I do think they probably will go Jaden.
All signs point Jaden Daniels, and I think Drake May is better, but I also, unlike Miller, I am not completely stuck on, well, Fields sucked, so Jaden Daniels must also. Because, you know, the one thing he will have in Washington is better receivers than Fields did years 1, 2, and 3. So
yeah, but
Scary Terry.
What about the rest of the organization?
Well, I don't really know. I don't think anybody can know yet.
Let's
Dan Quinn could be good.
He could
Ownership
be, but
could be good.
How much of a hand is Dan Quinn personally going to have in developing Jaden Daniels, though?
Oh, none. It's Cliff Kingsbury, which could work with Jaden Daniels.
Sure.
Especially since Cliff doesn't have to be the boss. He's just making an offense. That can work.
I'm just not a Cliff guy. I don't have a lot of faith in Cliff, and that's kind of my big thing.
Well, so Patrick Mahomes should have failed.
Well, no, that's the one exception. There's always an exception.
Kyler Murray should have failed. Baker Mayfield should have failed.
Both of them were failed by Cliff, and then they rose to the
Caleb
occasion.
Williams should have failed
from his grasp. Same thing's going to happen with Caleb. It's a proven track record. Once you get away from Cliff, you become exponentially better.
Well,
so what's going to happen is they're going to draft Jaden.
He's going to have Cliff for a year. Yeah, and the next year he's going to be sick
for a year.
Yeah,
they're going to fire Cliff. They're going to bring in God knows who, and then Jaden Daniels is going to win MVP.
Yeah,
that's the timeline here. It's a big brain strat. You got to have your quarterback be poisoned for a year by Cliff.
You gotta give it a go. So this is where an argument's gonna happen, at least a little bit. But my side's more correct now. Did you see what Elliot Wolf had to say today?
He said they're open to trading. He didn't say that they were going to.
Okay, he's open to trading because we have the worst roster in the sport, and drafting a quarterback makes no sense. I don't understand your idea of building a team. Just get the quarterback. Nothing else matters. So ruin the quarterback and be bad for 5 years. That's what your version of building a team is. Build the team, then get the quarterback. That guaranteed works. Name one team that's ever been just atrocious, drafted the quarterback while being atrocious, and the quarterback's been awesome.
Hold on. I gotta double check something real quick.
I'm holding. I'm held. Throw the flag, referee.
What's their GM's name? Elliot Wolf?
He's like, yeah, kinda.
How do you spell that?
Elio.
Oh, there's only one L. Okay.
Gross.
And only one T.
Yeah. That's a way to spell a name.
Where did he
what?
He said he would be comfortable staying put and drafting a quarterback in a unique class, but he also said something about their infrastructure.
Oh, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
But I didn't see him specifically say stick and draft a quarterback. Yeah. I just see
if the team sticks at number 3 and picks a quarterback, Wolf expressed confidence that the team has the infrastructure in place to help him succeed. That includes the signing of veteran quarterback Jacoby Brissett, who could serve as a, quote, positive influence while competing against a potential high draft pick. We feel good about where we are. We feel through free agency on the offensive side in particular that we've been able to supplement our roster properly, so we're not having to draft for need as much.
I mean, obviously he has to say that. but you still have the least talented offense in all of football.
Does he not also have to say that he would be open to trades to leave
No,
all
he doesn't.
options on the table?
He doesn't have to say that.
Dude, he's sitting at number 3 in the draft where teams have already said they're trying to trade up. Of course, he's going to leave his options open to wait for one of them to potentially overpay.
Okay, he could have just said nothing. That is an option. You're allowed to say nothing and
not anymore.
Yes,
not in
you
the year
are.
of social media. You can't say nothing.
See, you say that. Polls said nothing. The Commanders have said nothing. Everybody else has said nothing except for this guy.
I still don't think that's like a surefire indication that they're trading
I'm
down.
not saying it's a surefire, but when you're offered 3 first-round picks, including 2 this year, and you, by all accounts, are not entirely sold on Drake May.
Who's to say they're not entirely sold on Drake May, and who's to say the pick would even be Drake May?
I mean, if you want to say they're taking JJ, then we can have a weird conversation. But
hold on.
Because I don't. So here's my thing. If anybody's trading up, realistically, it's Minnesota. I hate that people keep bringing up, well, the Giants could jump ahead of Minnesota. No trade the Giants offer is better than what Minnesota can offer.
It's not about the value being better. It's about not having to move down as far. Because you'd still be in play to get one of the top receivers if you move down with the Giants as opposed to moving down with the Vikings. You'd go from 3 to 6.
I guess. I mean, you'd get your chance at whichever one nobody else wanted.
Or
I don't
you might
like
have
that.
2 if somebody trades up for JJ.
See, but if the Giants move up, nobody else is moving up. No, whoever jumps, nobody's moving. Because the 2 teams going for a quarter, except for maybe Denver. And that.
Yeah, and that's.
Dude, if Denver wants to risk everything,
and said he'd move heaven and earth to move up. I almost said heaven and hell, heaven and earth.
They've been saying that forever, and I don't believe it. I don't think Sean Payton can develop a quarterback, but that's just me.
On top of that, I'd like to point out as well, Peter Schrager, who is entirely dialed into the league. He has his connections.
He's also wrong a lot, just like everybody, but yeah.
He is wrong a lot, but he has gone on record saying that the conversations he's had with the Patriots lean towards him believing they're going to stay put and take a quarterback. And
I still just think that's a giant mistake. But
okay, but again, this isn't what we would do. It's a predictive. And another guy, I know you're not going to have heard of him. His name is Austin. He's a Bears fan that has legitimate sources, has been ahead of a lot of things. He put out yesterday that, and I know it's hard to believe guys that say they have sources and whatnot, but when you have a good track record,
sure,
it's, and he's right about everything. I don't think I've seen him make or put something out there that's wrong. He said that he believes the Patriots are currently fighting. He said the Patriots will take Drake May unless they are absolutely blown away by an offer that involves multiple first-round picks this and next year.
So 11, 23, and a 1 next year. That is more than literally any other team can offer, literally ever, that allows you to fix every hole in your roster this year. You could still take a quarterback this year, or you could wait until next year. Either way.
But again, that's what you would do.
That's what I think any smart GM would do, and
I disagree.
Right, I think because you like building a team around the quarterback, which means the quarterback fails, because that's how it always works. When the team is bad, the quarterback always fails. Name me one quarterback who's been good on an awful team. Year 1.
This guy thinks I'm a walking encyclopedia.
Well, no, I just mean, think back to the last few QBs who have been good. Patrick Mahomes went to a team that was just in the AFC Championship game. Josh Allen goes to a team that was just in the playoffs. Baker Mayfield went to a team that wasn't good, and then wasn't good for 3 years, and then the team finally got okay. He had 1 good year, and then they shipped him away. Justin Fields went to a team that was atrocious, sucked. Zach Wilson went to a team that was atrocious, sucked. Trevor Lawrence went to a team that was atrocious, sucked. And that guy was
Trevor Lawrence didn't suck as a rookie.
Are you dumb or are you dumb?
He was one of the most poised quarterbacks in the league as a rookie. He was very good in spite of what he had around him. Andrew Luck, he was great when he went to the Colts
Went
as a
to a
rookie.
team that went to the AFC Championship game a year and a half before that, and the only reason they didn't make the playoffs the next year was because Peyton was hurt.
My bad.
Golly.
My bad.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence didn't suck his rookie year. Every stat sucked. He just was kind of okay under pressure. He still, was awful at everything outside of that. But hey.
Okay, just
and
say
yeah,
you
it's
didn't
because
watch
the
it.
team
Cool.
sucked. I did watch. What are you on about?
I mean, if we're talking about just the stats, then
no, I'm talking about watching the games. Just because you're poised under pressure, sometimes
suck. Trevor Lawrence didn't suck as a rookie.
Okay. He still had moments, but that's okay. So
He's dude, if you expect a rookie to step in day one and be like a legit top 15 starter,
I expect a rookie to step in day one and be, competent, and he wasn't.
Trevor Lawrence was absolutely competent as a rookie.
Okay.
He absolutely was.
He really elevated that Jaguars team. He really, His
number one fucking receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and he still looked competent.
And that's...
He still looked competent.
So you're expecting a quarterback that, as a prospect, is half as good as Trevor Lawrence to go to a team just as bad as that Jaguars team and be good. It's ridiculous.
I don't think he starts day one.
It's going to take 6 years before the Patriots are any goddamn good. They have the worst roster period in football period. They have, 4 players on that team who deserve to have roster spots in the NFL?
Good starting running back, 2 good starting receivers, a good starting tight end, 3 solid offensive linemen.
Okay, hold on. Ramondre Stevenson can be good. The 8 games a year he's healthy, he's never played a full season. They don't have another running back on the roster.
Antonio Gibson's a fine RB2.
No, he's not. Yes, the fumble machine is incredible. He has more carries than...
Did I say incredible or did I say fine? By today's standards, a fine running back doesn't have to be that good. He's competent. That's all he needs to be.
He's not really competent.
Yes, he is.
Okay, I forget.
I don't even like Antonio Gibson that much. He is a competent running back.
Okay. Is he a top 60 running back? No. So he's not competent.
Name 59 better. Do it. Name 59 better.
Okay, well, you got Gibbs and Montgomery. You've got A.J. Dillon, Josh Jacobs.
No, not A.J. Dillon.
Yes.
No. A.J. Dillon is not a good running back at all. He doesn't belong on an NFL roster.
Neither does Antonio Gibson. Name one good thing about Antonio Gibson. Can't catch, can't hold on to the ball, can't find a hole.
That's all he fucking does. That's
the only thing he's supposed to be good at, but he's still not good at it. When the only thing you're supposed to be good at is something you're still not good at. Oh my God. I know you just want to disagree, but we're pretending that everybody on the page... We're doing this reverse of what you did for the Bears, where for the Bears you'd pretend everybody sucked to defend Justin Fields at the time. Now we're pretending everybody on the Patriots is good when they're not.
Not at all what I said. Not at all what I said. You're putting words in my mouth.
You said he's competent, which is good enough. He's not good enough. He's not good enough to be a running back 3. He's not.
He's good enough to be an RB2.
No,
Antonio Gibson absolutely can be a complimentary running back.
Okay.
And a committee.
Okay. I very much disagree, but that's fine. I forget. No, it's fine.
Yeah. We're sitting here fighting over Antonio Gibson.
We're sitting here fighting over how much you... I'm not the one pretending Antonio Gibson.
I'm not saying you're being ridiculous. I'm saying the situation is ridiculous.
Okay, but you're also sitting here... 2 fine receivers. Did we just call Kendrick Bourne and Juju fine receiver? They're wide receiver 3s.
I was talking about Kendrick Bourne and Pop Douglas.
Pop Douglas isn't even going to get playing time.
That's just not true.
Okay. I mean, so he's going to take reps from Juju or the guy you just spent a bunch of money, or any of the guys you're spending a bunch of money on? They had so much confidence in him last year, they didn't even play him most of the time.
Mario Douglas played last year when he was healthy.
I didn't say he didn't play. I'm saying he didn't get that much playing time. You're acting like he was a superstar.
Not at all what I said. I said he was a fine receiver, and he had over 500 receiving yards in 7 starts last year.
In 14 total games. 7 starts means nothing as wide receivers. 2 guys are listed as starting wide receivers.
Okay, so he had 561 yards last year with Mac fucking Jones and Bailey Zappi throwing him the football. He is a competent receiver. That's all I said he was.
Okay.
I didn't say Pop Douglas is a future All-Pro. I said he's competent.
We're back to the goddamn Bears. Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool and all of them were competent. Competence not fucking good enough when you're trying to develop a QB.
Sure, again, he won't play this year. It'll be Jacoby playing this year.
So what's the point of the pick in this case? You're letting Jacoby play. Most of the time, the bridge quarterback idea is, I know, to allow development. But, okay, so you guys roll with Jacoby. You draft Drake May. Next year, you still have by far the worst roster in football. But, hey, we might have a future QB, maybe. I'm sorry, drafting to sit a guy for a year doesn't work when you suck. Fix the team or fix the quarterback. And I don't think, but the issue is when inevitably, because Jacoby will inevitably have a bad week, that is how bridge quarterbacks go, they'll be forced to put Drake May in, like every team with a rookie quarterback they plan to sit in the history of all time, and Drake May will then suck because his team sucks.
Okay, here's something I think we're both forgetting. And when I say both, I mean I should have brought this up sooner because I feel like this is a definitely valid point for a predictive mock draft.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots are a new regime, new GM, new head coach, new everything.
Okay.
Historically speaking, typically speaking, what is the first thing that those new regimes like to bring in when they have a top pick?
See, I want to say quarterback, but the last two fully new regimes I can think of didn't do that. Well, one did, one didn't. It's a 50-50 split.
Who are the two you're thinking of?
Bears, Texans.
Mm-hmm.
One did, one did. I said
the Bears
one did,
are a different
one
situation because they had a quarterback going into year 2.
Right.
If the Bears had if the Bears, okay, if it would have been like year 3 for Fields, I guarantee you the Bears would have traded Fields last offseason and taken Stroud, Young, whoever their top quarterback on the board was. But the difference was we had 1 year of Fields when Poles and Eberflus came in, and we didn't know what he was yet. There was enough to go off of to say maybe there was something there.
But I also think a new regime is smart enough to know picking a quarterback doesn't save your job when your team sucks. You're just going to
Are they, though?
I would hope.
Right, but again...
Okay, I'm predicting based off of, I don't know, what I think somebody smart enough to get hired as a GM would be smart enough to understand.
But going off of historical precedent, most new regimes like to get that quarterback out of the way right away.
I'm trying to think of who else has been a new regime. I mean, the Vikings didn't, but they had Cuzzo.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, they still could have because he was literally a free agent and they chose to keep him. But
they could have, but you already have a top 15 quarterback.
Sure.
You're not going to throw him away.
I get that. I'm trying to think of who else got new regime. Because the Panthers were like year 2 of a new regime, so it doesn't count. We're not counting it.
Sure.
Well, it does count, but it doesn't because weird. Because the Panthers are fucking goofy, and it was all the owner being goofy anyways. So I can't credit or discredit their GM for that.
Titans did it with Rand Carthen, Will Levis would have been Rand Carthen's second year.
Yep.
Because first year was Traylon Burks when they traded AJ Brown.
And that's definitely a situation where you pick a quarterback. I'm sorry, Tannehill's not.
Right.
So,
right.
But I don't know. You can make the argument that the Titans are stupid, but
I think the problem here, just to move on, is that both of us have very strong points in this matter because genuinely they could go either way.
Yeah.
There's historical precedent to suggest that they would go the quarterback route and figure the rest out later because that is like old school football, the 90s all the way up into like the 2000s. You get the quarterback, figure the rest of the shit out later. And that's, I think the disconnect here is my like more old school mentality towards the sport is still just get the quarterback, figure the shit out later.
It's just that doesn't work.
Right. There have been a lot of instances of that lately not working. I will fully admit that. But I don't know. It's tough. Like it genuinely could go either way. I wouldn't be if they said Drake May at 3. I wouldn't be shocked. If they said Marv at 3, I wouldn't be shocked. If they traded down, I wouldn't be shocked. If they said Joe Alt at 3, I wouldn't be
Marv
shocked.
at 3 would kind of shock me.
It wouldn't for me.
I don't
think
know
he's
why.
good enough to go 3.
It's not that he's not good enough. I just think,
well, yeah.
if I'm the Patriots, if I'm picking at 3 and it's not a QB, I think it would be Alt.
Well, I mean, and again, that comes down to two different schools of thought again, because you want to either build the trenches, or with the receiver market the way it's been, you want to lock down a legit perimeter threat for 5 years on a decent contract. It's the problem here too is both of us are very combative.
Yes. The argument is fun. That's what makes the argument fun. Well, and it definitely doesn't help that realistically the team trading up you hate. So
yeah,
you definitely, we both have our bias there.
There's a tinge of bias both ways.
100%. I'm not going to pretend there's not.
Yeah. So, okay. Here's
what are we doing? Oh no. What are you doing? What
are tails?
Oh no. Tails never fails, baby. It definitely fails sometimes.
Fuck. I typed in the wrong thing.
Fuck.
You can't see it. It's tails.
Yay! Vikings trading up. Let's go. I still think that's very likely to happen. To happen.
I don't know. I think the Patriots are more likely to stick and pick one of Alt or Marv than they are to trade down.
I think when 3 first-round picks is dangled in front of your face, and you know your team is that bad. I mean, this is technically a bigger haul than what the Bears got.
Okay.
For number 1.
Let me propose this then. Since we're getting into trade territory, right? Let me propose this. I know you said you don't love the idea of the Giants trading up, but you're only moving as opposed to going from 3 to 11. You go from 3 to 6. You'd pick up 6, a first this year, 6, a first next year, a second this year, and like a third next year.
I don't think the Giants would do that.
You don't think they would for a quarterback? Because
you have a bad roster and you're giving up 4 top, 4 day 1 picks to move 3 spots. When realistically in this scenario, maybe the Broncos move up. But I can promise you the Chargers aren't trading with the Broncos.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals, if a team jumps to where the Patriots are and takes a quarterback, you're going to have to offer the Cardinals, like if you're the Broncos, 3 firsts, Sutton and Surtain. That's all I'm taking if I'm the Cardinals. Either I'm fleecing you or I'm sticking for MHJ. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, the Patriots in this scenario is the spot to trade up.
Okay, so...
And it's just tough and that's the other thing. The Giants, I don't know how they are on Drake May. Couldn't tell you. I'm not dialed in to... I haven't paid attention to a single thing coming out of New York. I don't care. But they could also see this as a chance to we'll just get JJ at 6. Or maybe the Giants are in love with Penix for later or something. I don't know.
So maybe the Giants are stupid. Got it.
Yeah. Well, I love that we agree on Penix. Can't agree on Knicks, though.
Yeah.
Just impossible. But okay, we don't have to make this a trade, and they can take Drake May. I do care, but I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, I would lean more towards them taking May.
I think that's such a bad idea.
Maybe it is, but again, I think if we're going off what we think would happen, I really do think the Patriots would pick, because again, you got to think too, this is a team that had Brady, lost Brady, and hasn't had good quarterback play since Brady. Trying to prolong that any longer, I feel like would hurt Robert Kraft, because Robert Kraft wants a quarterback. He wants that guy he can market and be the face of the team. Because Robert Kraft
Robert Kraft also knows, without having constantly one of the greatest defenses of all time, Brady doesn't matter. And
I wouldn't go that far.
I would. Name me a quarterback that wins without a good team around him. Name
Well,
one.
okay. Winning Super Bowl is a different story, sure, but Brady would still matter.
Okay, but he wouldn't. Okay, again, this
Brady
is the
would
NFL.
listen.
Hey, who's maybe the most talented quarterback of all time who never gets talked about? Dan Marino. Oh, why? Because he didn't win Super Bowls. If Brady doesn't win Super Bowls, he doesn't matter. He's just Dan Marino.
Just Dan Marino is a kind of crazy statement.
Think about the way nobody talks about Dan Marino until you're specifically talking about either some of the most talented guys of all time.
Listen, a bunch of casuals not caring about guys that don't win rings doesn't
I'm
bother
talking
me.
about
I'm talking
everybody.
about people that matter.
I'm talking about
people
everybody.
that matter, people that know the sport talk about Dan
I'm
Marino
literally
regularly.
the only person on this podcast who ever brings up Dan Marino on this podcast.
Because Dan Marino doesn't come up in conversation.
Because he doesn't matter.
He doesn't come up in conversation. When are we ever having a conversation where Dan Marino is applicable?
Literally any time. He's maybe the most talented quarterback to ever play the fucking sport.
Yeah, Dan Marino's incredible.
Anytime we talk about quarterbacks, we could bring him up, but we don't.
Well, yeah, because most of the time when we talk about quarterbacks, we're talking about current guys or guys that played for our respective teams. Very rarely are we having a conversation like, who are your top 10 quarterbacks of all time? Or anything of that effect. It's like, hey, remember this guy that played for the Vikings 30 years ago? He was really good.
Well, that for quarterback play for the Vikings doesn't happen.
Well, was Fran Tarkenton 30 years ago or was he longer?
Oh my God, no.
He was way older,
Dude,
wasn't he?
30 years ago was the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Time's weird. When I say 30 years ago, my brain still thinks like the 70s.
Okay.
But no, but my point is, like, we don't talk about Dan Marino on here because he doesn't become brought up. Like, there's no reason to bring him up in
conversations. Because the only time he ever gets brought up is when you talk about quarterbacks who didn't win a Super Bowl.
Now, when you talk about the greatest quarterbacks of all time, he should get brought up. And if you're not bringing him up, that's a shortcoming on your end.
But I think Robert Kraft knows they found Brady in the 6th round.
And that's the only time that's ever happened.
I mean, is it, though? Well, the GOAT, yes, but...
Yeah. A top
in
5
the last
quarter...
Russell Wilson was ranked as a top 3 quarterback for years, and he was a 3rd round pick.
3rd and 4th round is much different than the 6th.
Okay, but it still makes the same point I am making. You don't have to use a top 5 pick on a quarterback to get a good quarterback. Dak Prescott, not a top 5 pick. Kirk Cousins, these are guys who weren't even 1st round picks.
Yeah, okay. How many of them are top 5 quarterbacks right now? How many of them are elevating a team to win a ring right now? Especially in the AFC, you have to have a super weapon quarterback to compete. If you want to keep up with Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Stroud, Anthony Richardson, you need to have a super weapon at quarterback. You can't get by with the Daks and the Kirks of the world that are
Bro just try
really
to squeeze
good.
in Anthony Richardson ahead of Burrow and Lamar?
I said Lamar.
Oh, did you?
Who I forgot Burrow and Herbert. I was just thinking of the freak athletes of the world, and I wasn't thinking about the pocket passers. My point is, there's a lot of really fucking good quarterback play in the AFC, and you're not going to beat them with these like fringe top 10 guys like Dak and Kirk that are really good, don't get me wrong, but they're not guys that take over games typically. And you know, they've gotten closer to beating those allegations as of late. I'm not saying they're bad quarterbacks, and they're both top 10 in their own right, but when you have 8 of the top 10 quarterbacks arguably in your conference and you have to go through them in order to make it to the Super Bowl, you gotta feel like there's gotta be that pressure to have a super weapon at quarterback.
So they really want to trade up to 2 for Jaden Daniels.
And that would leave Washington to take Drake at 3.
I don't know if they would. I really don't know if Magic in any world would let Washington take Drake May.
I don't know. I think if Magic met... So
I don't care if they've met or not. This dude who's never won, never played incredible, he just kind of looks good on film. That would mean nothing to Magic.
Okay. So... Again, I was watching Peter Schrager talk today, and I'm not trying to use Peter Schrager as my only source.
Bro's got a source.
Watching him. I was watching him talk on. He was on Rich Eisen's show, and he was talking about how great of an interviewer Drake May was for a lot of people, because he brings this like Southern charm and Southern hospitality and just charms the socks off of everybody. He said that everybody that met with Drake May was like in love with him. And I think if Magic sat down with him, he would feel the same way. So I do think they'd end up wanting to take Drake at 3. If this crazy scenario happened where they trade down from 2 to 3, let the Patriots take Jaden, they would take Drake at 3. But no, realistically, I think I'll put it this way. If this was a team in the NFC, I would feel much differently. I could absolutely get behind the waiting for a quarterback if this was a team in the NFC. But because it's a team in the AFC where you have to go up against so many insane quarterbacks.
See, but having an insane quarterback doesn't win you anything when your team sucks.
No, but it sets you up to be so. Okay.
And who's to say your quarterback, who might have some okay tools, will ever become anything when you give him Joes at every position except for what?
Let me ask you this.
They have a great edge.
First of all, that's a very good thing to have.
Yeah, but they have one, and he's 32.
Second of all, let me ask you this. Who would you rather have? 2 minutes left in the game. You're up against Patrick Mahomes on the road. Who would you rather have? Drake May or Quinn Ewers or Jalen Milroe or whoever else is coming out next year?
I didn't watch any of them play. They might be better. I don't know.
From everything I've heard, they suck. They're bad, and they
from everything we heard last year, everybody in this class sucked except Caleb. And then suddenly here we are. Welcome to every draft class of all time, you bozo. No, I'm not gonna let
logic.
I'm not gonna let you just bullshit your way through this. Like,
I'm just saying though, like, genuinely speaking, I see your vision. I absolutely do. I understand where you're coming from. But again, just because it's the AFC, I really am like hard in believing that you got to take the quarterback here.
When Minnesota inevitably trades up to number 3 and takes Drake May, I will be demanding you and Jake get on your knees and apologize. Beg for forgiveness.
That's a weird way to put that.
Don't care.
I will not be doing the first part of that.
Oh, you will.
No.
We'll be canceling this show. Because when dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same.
Okay, but what if the Vikings stick and pick at 11 and 23 and just don't take a quarterback and roll with Darnold?
That is outside of like getting JJ or Drake May or Jaden Daniels, because those Caleb's not an option unless the Bears are fucking stupid.
Sure.
Like, if somehow Caleb starts falling, move everybody. I don't care. The whole team. Yeah. Give them the whole team. Outside of those 3, don't pick a quarterback. Sam Darnold's a year older than Bo Nix and Michael Penix, and like, honestly, you can probably, even after this year, if he has a good year, let's say you want to move forward with Darnold, you can probably sign him cheaper than what their rookie deals would be.
Yeah, no, I, like, genuinely speaking, this isn't like a Vikings shitting on them type of thing. I genuinely do think sticking with Sam Darnold is a viable option.
Yeah. And
like,
I think
I firmly
doing
believe
that overreaching on Nix or Penix, like, sure. If there's a world where, like, one of them falls into day 2 and you move all the way back up for it, okay, I can kind of maybe see that vision. But I wouldn't pick either of them at 11 and 23. If I get, like, let's say we just don't luck out. Chargers and Cardinals refuse to trade now because fuck it, we're moving forward with Drake May getting picked by the Patriots.
I was just getting ready to say we gotta move forward with something.
We don't have to. The show can just go on until next week.
Okay, so are we just going with Drake at 3 and moving on?
Yeah, I guess.
Or what are we doing? Okay.
I guess. I still think it's incorrect, but
well, we will see a week from today. And you will see our reactions to it live, because we will be live on Run the North for
Well, the issue is we know if the Patriots...
round.
I guess we don't know if the Patriots make a pick that it'll be Drake. We know nothing.
There definitely is a world where they throw out JJ. It's possible.
That's not... I mean Marvin. They could just go Marv. Yeah, they could throw out JJ too.
But I do think JJ's still in play. They could be weirdos.
Dude, there are 4 guys who I could like genuinely see going here.
Yeah. But anyway, since I was trying to plug, we will be live for the draft, the first round. I don't know what the plan is for day 2, but I will at least be live on day 2 if no one else. Because I remember last year it ended up being like me, Patrick,
I
Grayson.
feel like last year I had something to do though.
Yeah. I think that's what ended up happening. But we will definitely be live for that. And then after the draft, we will be recording our post-draft thoughts with a special guest who I ran by you guys and neither of you acknowledged. So I just told him he could go ahead and come on because we associate with him. It's okay.
I'm scared. I don't know.
I mean, I can just say it if you would like.
Please. I don't know who's coming on our show. Oh, I don't remember any of this.
I told
but okay.
you guys that.
You
remember
probably
we tried,
did, but
yeah, no, we were trying to get him to come on for a mock draft earlier, and he was like, "I can't do that, but I can do after the draft." And I said I'd ask you guys. You guys were like, "Okay," and I was like, "Okay," and he double checked that with me.
I don't remember
Jack
any of that, but all right.
Will be here after the draft. I don't know if he'll be here during because I think he goes to a buddy's house for the draft, but we'll probably have some people on during the draft as well. Grayson might work that night. I don't know. Jarrett's getting married the night before, so I don't know if he'll be available. Yeah.
Tough.
Dude's having a whole ass wedding.
Tough.
And I get.
And who knows? Maybe I won't be here for the. Maybe I won't be here for the stream. You never know. I could just decide to fly to Detroit. You never know.
Stream on your phone from the draft.
That would be kind of interesting. See, except I'd know the pick, but way before you guys.
True.
TV delays
that's
trash.
how it was last year because my delay was crazy.
True.
So it would take like 30 seconds for me to get the pick. But yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be a ton of fun.
For sure. Definitely going to be a lot of yelling.
Yelling, crying, screaming, cheering.
A lot of what the fuck are they doing?
Definitely some of that. So you won't want to miss it. We'll be interacting
who will
with
be
the
this year's Lions.
That. What make a pick that we go what the fuck at and actually pans out?
2 picks that we go what the fuck at. One's all right. One was atrocious.
How many teams have? It's gonna be the Vikings. They're the only other team with 2 picks. In the
but we're
round.
trading both of our picks. So whoever gets both of our picks is fucking up. That's what we know. That's what we know. Or it will. See, I think if we stick, I think there's a big world where I don't know who we draft at 11 if we just stick and pick. It depends on how the board falls, obviously. But
I think Kool-Aid would be a killer pick for you
I
guys.
would be so down. But
I hate it, but I think he'd fit so well.
So
and I think
sick.
corner would be in play at 11.
Corner is absolutely in play. Edge is in play, but it's like less in play, if that makes sense.
I could see them going edge at 23 if someone falls, but I don't think they'd go at 11.
I think 11 realistically is like
corner, not tackle.
Corner or
tackle.
DT.
You don't need tackle. Yeah, I can
corner
see that
or
could be
just
a Byron
big
Murphy
boy
spot.
Yep, Byron Murphy or Newton. I think Murphy fits better, but either way,
I like Murphy better. I finally got around to watching DTs,
like them
and
both.
I love Murphy.
Murphy.
I like them both too, but I like Murphy more because he's a better run defender.
Yeah.
He's like Newton's and we'll talk about that more when we get down the board because obviously they're going to go in the first round. So let's go ahead.
Marvin. I don't.
We're sticking and picking. Okay.
I don't. I think they have to.
Yeah. I agree.
They have Greg Dortch. That's not a shot, but they have Greg Dortch. That's it. They don't have another receiver on the roster.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't matter how much you like Greg Dortch. He's not Justin Jefferson, so he's not good enough to be the only good one.
He's a 3. So Dortch, Wilson, and Marv.
I forgot about Michael Wilson. But even then, you still need a real number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm with it. I'm not against it.
So the question is, does Harbaugh trade down, or is he just sticking and picking?
Do you trade up if you're the Vikings here?
The question is, do you want... The question is only the Giants. And
are you worried about the Giants taking him, you mean?
Yeah. Are you worried about JJ going 6? But
I would say you are.
The Vikings here, I'm not 100% positive. Quessy has talked about how he would love a world where he doesn't have to move both ones. I don't know if you'd have to move both from this year at this spot.
I could see 11 in a first next year getting it done.
Me too.
Although I think you'd probably have to throw in like a day 2, day 3 pick this year as well to get it
I
done.
don't. Yeah, I'm sure Quessy would love to do that.
Yeah.
But like, let's
could
say he,
see it.
11, 129, and a 1 next year to get to 5.
Yeah, I mean that would be great value for the Vikings. But the thing is with the Chargers. Okay, here's
They need a receiver.
The conflict.
They need so
Receiver-
many things.
Receiver isn't what I think they'd take if they stick at 5.
Who
The
do you
more
think
I
they
think
take?
about it, I think if they stick at 5, they take Alt.
To
I
move
really do.
him to right tackle?
I think you try to move Slater to right tackle and play Alt at left.
Oh, so we're gonna take our all-pro left tackle
Listen,
and try to force him.
I'm not saying again.
No, I think if you were going to do that, I think it would be Olu. If you wanted to tackle, it'd be Olu, and then you'd be thinking, if we move to 11,
Okay.
we can still get him.
The thing is, though, with Olu, he's not a Harbaugh tackle.
That's true.
Harbaugh would hate Olu.
See, okay, so who is it that has the best chance at working out at right tackle? I mean,
At right tackle would probably be Latham or Furlonga.
okay,
But
and you'd know you could get them at 11.
you could for sure. And again, I'm not trying to talk out of the Vikings taking a pick here. I'm just trying to give the Chargers perspective
100%.
here. Yeah.
We have to have this debate. It's a trade. This has to be the debate because it's never going to just be like, okay. Like, no, there's going to be
you're
talk
right.
internally. There would be talk from the Vikings. Do we really want to give up a pick next year for this chance? When he could fall, you never know. If the Giants are smart, they wouldn't take him. But they're the Giants, so...
Yeah, I don't know. I think Harbaugh would look at this as it's a deep receiver class. You don't have to take wide receiver up top.
Right.
Because you think about the 49ers teams he coached, he was never somebody that took receivers high,
No.
if I'm not mistaken. Because Crabtree was even though Crabtree wasn't great, he was like a 3rd round pick?
No, Crabtree was a 1st round pick, but I think Crabtree wasn't Harbaugh's era. I think Crabtree was too early.
Was he?
But Crabtree was undoubtedly a 1st round pick.
Well, he was drafted before I was conscious, so I'm
Because
talking
the
out of
only
my ass
surprise
there.
for him was that fuckhead went above him. Because he went 10th and Darius Hayward-Bay went 8th.
Right,
And everybody was
okay.
like, yo, what the fuck?
Harbaugh
but remember,
was there from
DHP
2011 to 2014.
Yeah, no, 2009 was Crabtree.
Okay. Yeah, so 2011 to 2014. Let's look at the Niners drafts real quick.
Valid, we should.
So 2011, their 1st round pick was Aldon Smith. Took Kaepernick in the 2nd. And then
I'm looking at
2012,
12. I'm looking at 12. You look up 13.
they took a receiver in 12,
Did they?
but it was pick 30. Yeah, but it was pick 30.
Oh, this is not where I thought I was. This didn't show me the draft
2013.
class. Love that.
They went DB and DE with their first 2 picks.
So who did they pick at pick
2014.
30?
Some nobody.
Oh, sick.
Hold on. AJ Jenkins, who was there
Oh.
for a total of 3 years, and then LaMichael James in the 2nd round.
Honestly, new thought.
Hmm.
Did the Chargers trade for Ayuk? Harbaugh was
Honestly, I
more
could
of
see
the
it.
adding a receiver that way. Anquan Bolden, Randy
Mhm.
Moss.
Yeah.
Do they just trade for Ayuk or T. Higgins or one of these other?
I think they'd be more likely to go for Ayuk because I think Ayuk's better and I think he fits better with
Sure.
Herbert.
I'm just saying names.
Because the way I see it, Ayuk would replace Keenan. They have similar skill
Sure.
sets. Just as a guy that's
T would
always
replace
open.
Mike.
Right.
Trade
Well,
for both.
yeah,
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. Josh Palmer and Quentin, though. I know. Not good. Well, they're still going to be your 2 other starting receivers no matter what you do here. So
Yeah.
what are their skill sets going to do, and what do you need more based off that? That's why I still think if they stick and pick, and it's not tackle, if they picked a receiver, I think it would be Odunze.
Yeah, no, I think if they went receiver, they'd definitely go Rome because the Neighbors, I don't know
It's
how
too
true
similar to Palmer and QJ.
it is. Not only that,
Play style
but
wise.
Neighbors,
He's
yeah,
better, but
sure.
I just felt
But
like
not only that,
yeah.
But the more I hear about Neighbors, apparently there's some character stuff going on there. Like Neighbors got arrested for gun possession, or not arrested, at least in trouble for gun possession while he was at LSU.
Oh,
And that's starting to pop up a little bit.
oh,
Now, of course, it's pre-draft. They're gonna dig shit up on guys. It's how it happens. It doesn't mean Neighbors is going to fall or anything like that. I wouldn't imagine. But I don't think Harbaugh would want a guy like that. I think Harbaugh's a very blue collar, caring about that kind of stuff type of coach.
he's
You know what I
picking
mean?
JJ McCarthy here. No.
If he was coaching any other team, absolutely.
Dude, honestly, if he would have ended up as the coach of the Bears, whatever, 2 years or 3 years ago, I think you'd end up with McCarthy now.
I'm so glad we kept Eberflus.
Are you?
Yeah, actually, I am.
You'd just trade down to 4 and take JJ.
And I'd trade my life for the afterlife.
I sold my soul to the devil for designer. So are we
For
trading
JJ
or
McCarthy?
not? Are we sticking picking?
Yeah,
All
we
right.
can trade.
Let's do so I would guess it's probably more like 11 129, I don't know, 232 and then a first next year for 5.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
This trade thing makes no wait, if I
wish
do
you'd
it the
just let me
reverse.
force it. Yeah.
Sometimes if you do it the reverse it works for some reason. Not this time. What does that why do you think that's not enough value? That is exactly the value of this pick.
I don't know.
I'm going to just
I'm
add
gonna
something
throw
from the
in-
next year just cuz
Yeah.
that 11 129 232 and a first next year would absolutely get this done. I think
just gave the Chargers all of the Vikings picks next year.
Okay, I was going to say not this year.
You don't
We
get
got
a
another-
draft anymore.
That's fine. Hey man, if JJ works out, that'd be okay with me.
You don't get a draft. You get JJ McCarthy.
If JJ's any good, I'm cool with it. But yeah, we're going to take JJ. And I've talked myself more and more into JJ McCarthy, knowing that's what's most realistic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It also really helps that he's 21 and sitting him behind Darnold means nothing because he'll still be, a year younger than Caleb was coming into the league by the time he gets to start next year. So I'm cool with
Yeah.
it. And inevitably, we know JJ McCarthy will start like week 11 when Sam Darnold has a 3-interception game and the entirety of US Bank Stadium is just going, JJ, JJ. We know how that works.
Yeah.
We know how NFL football works. Unless Sam Darnold just goes on a full Case Keenum run, which doesn't make things more interesting other than we win some games, which is fun.
Right.
And it just makes the value for the Chargers worse, I guess, which is cool. I'm always here for that. Which is still my favorite thing from last year when we tried to move up with the Cardinals. Well, the future pick is going to be so far down the line. The Texans are going to be so much worse next year. And in reality, it was flipped. And the Cardinals are probably wishing they would have traded with us last year instead, especially since Paris Johnson didn't exactly go to plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Thoughts on JJ McCarthy? Because I know you've started to drop on him a little bit.
Not really.
You have Bo Nix rated as the better prospect for no reason.
I think Nix is the better prospect because he's more of a sure thing.
I don't think he is. I think Nix does not he doesn't project to be better at anything, and he's older, and he doesn't have any elite traits. JJ's got the better arm.
Yeah.
JJ's more mobile.
Yeah.
JJ's younger, and so what? They both have processing the field issues. Do you want
I
to?
don't think Nix has processing issues. I think Nix processes the field fine. Here, I'll pull up my exact notes on Bo Nix here so I can cite him properly.
Bro's gonna. Where's my notebook?
So, pre-snap communication, pre-snap, just reading the field. Being able to identify mismatches, being able to identify things pre-snaps, working within structure, savvy ball handler, quick release, arm elasticity allows him to throw the ball from multiple angles, can throw with touch, really good at identifying speed mismatches, flashes of anticipation sprinkled throughout tape, solid creator when the play breaks down, navigates the pocket well when faced with pressure, more than capable of taking off and picking up a first down for himself. And then the only issues I have with him that I don't also have with McCarthy, outside of his age, obviously, because I
Mhm.
mean that's just an objective thing.
Yeah.
His arm isn't as great, and he compensates on deep balls a little bit. So he'll
You
put too
think
much air under a
McCarthy's
deep
arm isn't
ball.
as? Oh no, you think Nick's? Okay.
I was saying
I
these are
no,
the
I
things that I
yeah,
don't have an issue with McCarthy that I do have an issue with Nix.
gotcha. I was
So
like, wait a minute. No,
yeah,
I will fight you on this. McCarthy's. I'm
no,
not saying
McCarthy's
either
arm's
arm is
great. I like
insane, but
McCarthy's.
like,
He has an above average
right.
arm.
I'm
McCarthy
not
does.
saying either of these are
That's
Caleb Williams. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, the way I see it, McCarthy has the higher ceiling for sure. Like, I'm not going to debate that. It's just the floor is low and there's such a wide range of outcomes to the point where I don't know. Plus, there's a limited sample size in terms of him actually throwing the football,
Sure.
given the way that Michigan's offense played. And I think having a quarterback who is a pre snap assassin and just has the experience,
See,
has the
and
IQ.
I didn't entirely believe in him being a pre-snap assassin. I don't know. He just looks to his own sideline for cues way too often. He needs help all the time.
Well, the
Bo
thing for
Nix,
me is
because I don't think he can handle a truly complex offense, and I don't think he struggled with Oregon's offense. I don't think giving him to Kevin O'Connell is going to help.
I don't think he struggled with the offense, though. I thought he was doing fine. And
Well,
then the thing on top of that is Nick's commanded enough respect from the coaches to be able to adjust a lot of things pre-snap, and you don't see that a lot with college quarterbacks. Usually those guys
Sure.
aren't allowed to switch the play pre-snap. They're not allowed to make a ton of adjustments. Bo Nix was adjusting everything pre-snap.
See, I think
He
that also
ran-
is weird because Bo Nix is so weird in every way.
Yeah, I agree.
I have no faith based
I
on
agree.
so many other on the fact that he played awful against the SEC and had to run to an easier conference. Like that's why
See,
he ended
that
up in
kind of
Oregon.
stuff,
That
it's
does
not-
matter to me. And it's not
Sure.
it wouldn't matter if it was like how Burrow did, where he left because he was never gonna play, so he went to a different
Mhm.
school. Dude was already the starting quarterback. He was just bad.
Well, I think the big thing is when he went from Oregon to or went from Auburn to Oregon, excuse me, he became a lot more disciplined and a lot more controlled in his play.
Maybe. That's fair.
And that's the big separation for me too, because to show that kind of maturity and to be able to adjust that drastically to go from like this psychotic, unhinged, just fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever player to
Well,
like
he
successfully
turned 45. I'd have to hope he matured a little.
And
I'm
sure,
sorry.
sure, it comes with age. No, you're not wrong, but like, still, that's a lot of growth to show.
Oh, I know.
In a college
so
career.
my entire point with this is just okay, that's my issues with Nix and Penix. I have so many issues with that aren't just due to age. Penix could be 19, and if he looked the way he looked, I don't want him. Like Bo Nix,
Yeah, no, I
could see a
agree.
much better argument for if he was younger, but based on age,
Yeah,
I struggle.
That's fair.
Now, obviously, he's not Brandon Whedon being 28 at the draft, but he's
Yeah.
still.
And
even
the thing is,
even
too,
Jaden Daniels is a little older than I'd like. The difference is
Mhm.
Jaden Daniels truly has a thing that he is truly elite at, which is
Yeah.
helpful when you're trying to go to the next
Sure.
level. Even
Yeah, I
JJ
mean,
McCarthy is not truly elite at anything.
Yeah.
So
The thing is with Nix and McCarthy too, like my grade on them is not much different. It's real close. I have like specifically like the where I'd take them on my draft board. I have them both marked as like an early to mid first rounder. So like
the
it's
thing
not
driving me the most nuts is I get saying, nobody outside of the top three, Williams, Daniels, May are worth a first round pick based off of like,
Uh-huh.
just actually, take the quarterback being most important out of it. I understand that. The idea that Nix and Penix are, but JJ isn't, bugs me. It's like, he's the one
Right.
of those three I'd want the most just based on age.
Yeah, and I
Because
will
you
say
can
too,
mold JJ a little easier.
if I was a GM and I had a team that didn't have a lot going for it, like wasn't in position to win right now, Vikings, for example, or not the Vikings, for example.
No, I
I'd
know what you
rather
mean.
have JJ. Like, I would definitely rather have the guy with more upside. If I was a team that was ready to win right now, like the Vikings, I'd rather have Nix.
I still
now,
want
I know
JJ.
I'm not,
And that's just
and I get
and
the
that's
thought
not
process
just a
behind
fan
that.
like me not being a fan of Nix, because Nix is still QB5, whatever. I just
Yeah.
think JJ is closer to the others than he is. I think just because you're more ready to win doesn't mean you don't want the guy with higher upside,
And
especially
that's fair
when
too.
you're in a situation where I don't know what coaching staff I trust more than the Vikings to develop a quarterback
Sure, and that's
based off
fair
of
too.
who needs one right now. Obviously,
Right.
the Colts, I know what Shane Steichen can do.
Yeah.
But like Kevin O'Connell, we saw him make Josh Dobbs a superstar in 4 days. Like,
Yeah.
I think Kevin O'Connell can
And I get that.
do work
JJ
with
is better for the
anybody.
Vikings.
Yeah.
I agree. But when I was saying the Vikings, I was more just using them as an example of a team that is a
Sure.
quarterback away.
Sure.
Like, say, for example, if the Falcons didn't get Kirk, if they were to sit at 8 and they were to take Bo Nix, I wouldn't hate that.
Sure. That makes sense.
Because they'd
That's
have
fair.
everything else in place. They just don't have the quarterback, and they don't have the proven staff to be like, hey,
Sure.
we're going to build this guy up.
I get
We
that.
just need a quarterback that can play and can play right
The
now.
Vikings
and
are
I
in a
think Nix
weird
is that.
situation, being a team
Yeah.
that could be ready to win now, and I think can, no matter who they pick, just rocking with Darnold. Don't be like, I'm not going to be surprised if the Vikings suck next year. I'm also not going to be surprised if they're like a playoff team who can make noise. Neither
Yeah,
would shock
sure.
me. Because Darnold
fair.
just has to be like, okay. Just
Yeah.
don't turn the ball over 4 times and just play like Nick Mullins did last year, just with less turnovers, and we'll be sick.
Yeah.
Which,
Okay.
Giants, though,
Yeah.
neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, I like Adunze more, but I think Neighbors is more what they'd want.
Odunze feels very Darren Waller.
That's an insult to Adunze, I fear.
I think, bro, I don't mean current Darren Waller. I just mean Darren
Oh.
Waller's skill set.
Yeah, no,
They're very
I like
similar
Neighbors for the
players.
Giants.
So,
Again,
yeah.
I like Adunze better, but I think Neighbors fits better with the Giants. And then the Titans,
Alt.
it's Chalk, Joe Alt.
Yeah, no, yeah. Unless Alt goes before them and then they're going Olu, and that is the only difference here.
I don't know. I think if Alt was off the board, they would think receiver, especially with Adunze sitting there. I think that would be in consideration for them.
Oh, we just paid D-Hop, Calvin Ridley, and have Traylon Burks. We definitely need another receiver when we have the worst O-line in football. What?
Well, I'm just saying, from their point of view, I think it would be in play, first of all. Second of all, Traylon Burks. Is he really stopping you from drafting Adunze?
He's been in the league for a year. Is it been
But is
2?
he really? It's been 2.
Either way.
And he's done nothing. Is he really stopping you from drafting Adunze? Plus, you have to think long term. D-Hop's, what, 33?
30.
And only under contract? I always forget he's way younger than he plays because his athletic ability really dropped off.
No, he never
Like,
had
not to
that
say-
much. Oh, he
Well-
just turned 31. I forget. We talked about this
Okay.
last time. He was going to turn 31
Yeah.
next month. Yeah.
But
So
when I say his athletic ability dropped off, I mean he went from like middle of the pack to
He's still
not
fairly
having
many of the middle of the pack. He's beating people all the time. He just
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't win with athleticism. That's never been
Right.
his game.
right. So my point is D-Hop just feels older than
Yeah.
he is. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying
'Cause
he's
I
washed.
think
I'm just
Calvin
saying he
Ridley is
feels
like
older.
the same age.
Right.
And he feels
So
like
my
he
point
should
is-
be younger. But like
Right.
30, you're not really worried about it yet. And Traylon
Yeah,
should be
I
better
guess.
now that you're not trying to rely on him to be like the guy.
Sure.
This gives him more of a
Sure.
shot. And
Again, remembering that D-Hop is 31 completely changes that.
Yeah.
Because I really thought he was older than he is.
we do that a lot.
Yeah.
Poor D-Hop. And don't forget about, Nick Westbrook-Akina, who's actually been weirdly awesome, like all the time.
Yeah, he's an awesome role player for
Kyle
them.
Phillips exists.
He hasn't done anything for them yet, and that makes me sad. I think that's a usage thing, but
Yeah.
okay.
Are you wanting to get weird with it with the Falcons?
I was okay.
I don't know what my definition of weird with it is, but I'm intrigued.
I think something very crazy could happen right here.
Hit me with it.
Okay, so again, going back to Schrager.
The Raiders are going to move up.
No, the Colts are apparently trying to get aggressive for a weapon. And with Adunze sitting right before Chicago, as much as I hate to say it, I could absolutely see the Colts trying to work something out with the Falcons. The Falcons dropping back and taking whatever edge or corner falls to them at 15, because one of the top ones is going to be there no matter what.
What do the Colts know? Where the fuck are the Colts? Okay. I'm
15.
trying to look at what they have for trade assets. Because you're moving up 7 spots. That's a lot.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to decide value-wise if this is Julio territory or not. Like
Well, okay.
what the Falcons gave up to move up for Julio. Not if Odunze's Julio. He's not.
Right. So Schrager for his mock, again, I hate that I'm not trying to go off of him, but he made some really good points that I'm really fascinated by. Because again, he's really, dialed in, right? He actually had the Colts move up with the Bears to get Neighbors, which makes me revolted. Like, that is disgusting to think that the Bears would trade out of Neighbors. But he had one pick later, the Bears getting a future 2 to move down with the Colts. I think obviously it would be more than that. I think you could do
15 and a future 2. That's not.
I think you could do 1582 and a future 2.
Nah, that's more realistic. What was the Julio trade?
I think there were multiple first involved in that. Wasn't Julio top 5?
He was number 5, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
Nope, that's the Titans trade. That's not what I wanted. Julio Jones trade.
It was the 6th pick, and it was.
But also, where were they moving up from? 27 to 6. That is a bigger. Okay.
They gave up 5 picks to move up 21 spots.
That's fair, as they should have.
And it was 27, a 2nd that year, a 4th that year, a 4th next year, and a 1st the next year.
Okay, so yeah, I think 1582 and a 2 next year could do it.
Yeah, and I think
I don't know if the trade simulator will allow that.
They don't like it because they're stupid and ugly and dumb.
They really don't understand what trades end up actually looking like in the draft.
Yeah.
Because we all talk about how, well, that trade would actually end up in 6 first-round picks, when realistically it's like, no.
Yeah.
It's never that. But yeah.
The idea here is the Colts go up, they guarantee that they're getting a Dunze. And how do I want to put this? You're in position to get yourself a legit weapon for Anthony Richardson, right? You have Michael Pittman, who's great. I think he would serve much better as a 2. You kick down to your 3. You get a Dunze as your true alpha. And then as for the Falcons, you trade down to 15. There's still going to be options at corner, at edge, at wherever. And you have extra draft capital to fill in some of the gaps because they're a team that's lacking a lot of depth. Is my thought process there.
So then the Bears shock the world. Jackson Powers Johnson.
No. I don't think that would happen. Apparently, the league's really low on Jackson Powers Johnson.
Bro
or
says
at least
that
much
like
lower
it's
than
gross. That's unfortunate. Bro hates Jackson Powers Johnson.
I like JPJ.
Bro hates JPow NFL.
10 pick. No, I would rather take JPow NFL at 9 than Jackson Powers Johnson. JPow NFL would know how to turn this team around. He'd help build a good team around Caleb.
You heard it here first. Miller has no faith in polls.
No, polls just you can never have too much help. You can never have too many voices in the room.
That's just not true. That's how you end up taking Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson.
So the Bears would be an interesting case here.
Do the Raiders want to jump Denver for Bo Nix?
And that's kind of where I'm thinking.
Personally, I still don't think so.
Well, apparently the Raiders really like Penix, which is a very them thing.
Okay, but even look at how Antonio Pierce wants to run the team. Penix makes the most sense.
Yeah, no, I'm saying he makes the most sense for them.
But I get it. Like, because you're just going to try to run the ball anyways. So, like, okay.
Now, here's the thing. Here's a thought. Who would want Bowers?
Colts.
Who would want to make a call up to get Bowers to jump the Jets here?
The Chargers.
You know what? I don't actually hate that. Jumping up one spot, I think that's actually a solid idea.
The Bears do that thing they did with Philly last year where they just move down a little, take like a 4th round pick. Like, we're going to get the guy because we know the Jets and the Chargers aren't taking the guy we're after. So we don't even need that much value in return. We'll just move down for shits and gigs.
I actually don't hate that. Honestly, the Chargers going up and getting Bowers.
Like, damn, those receivers left. And then Harbaugh goes, yeah, but this one can block.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah,
and
so
then
like
he says, what do you
and...
think? And then he goes, oh, right, I don't care. Make the call.
Yeah, so I'm going to do like 11 and 69 for 9
nice.
here.
I like that. Nice. 69. Nice. See, I just think it would be funny. Did you already propose it? Did it go through?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say it'd be funnier if it was just 11, 129, and 232. Just the same picks they got from Minnesota. Just like,
Yeah. So the Chargers jump up, get Bowers, get Herbert a weapon. Jets here at 10.
It rejected it on my end?
Yeah, I threw in the Vikings first just to make it go through.
Oh, that's funny.
It doesn't matter.
I love that.
So then what do the Jets do?
I'm still making the trade because my brain no worko. What do the Jets do? I mean, Olu is still probably a big option because like we talked about in the mock last week, having him for when somebody inevitably gets injured or just for the future doesn't hurt because Tyron Smith is 4,742 years old.
Yeah, sure. I can get
but it. I'm trying to think that they could also definitely go Julio Jones with this pick.
I don't think he's available.
Oh. I thought he was a free agent. They just draft a free agent. That would be the funniest thing about that.
No, they just still run up Brock Bowers.
That would be the most Jets thing about time. See, but I could also see the Jets being the team that's like dumb in like terms of like just pure value and just going with like Adonai or Xavier or Brian Thomas or just like
I don't
now here's
that.
a guy because that's what they did with Will McDonald. And old McDonald had a farm.
They also were picking a lot later than 10.
No, they were like 14.
They were picking like really? I thought it was like 17.
No, because 17 was Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And the Jets were very much before that.
He was 15th.
He was 15th because they traded down from 14. I was right. I was kind of. They were picking at 14. Then they traded down a spot.
Yeah, so what receiver?
The edge rushers you would have wanted over him, outside of Nolan Smith, who apparently the NFL hated, all went.
Yeah.
So they were like, fuck it.
Are they the weirdos that take Xavier Worthy? Even though he's not actually bad, it's just this would be a little rich for him.
This is entirely just the John Ross spot. And, I mean...
I clicked Worthy.
If any quarterback is going to make the case for, like, just go get me that... Because Rodgers still has... Whether his Achilles is perfectly healed or not, it doesn't matter. He's still going to have... Maybe he can't move at all, but he can still stand in the pocket and throw the ball better than maybe anyone except maybe 15. Maybe. Yeah. So, like, he might just be like, give me the speedy boy. We can... Oh, my God, Worthy's just his new Randall Cobb. It's Xavier Worthy. I would bet money. Unless Neighbors is there or something goofy.
Right. And then Chicago at 11. This is an easy pick, in my opinion.
Now you just go Olu because it's time?
No.
Oh.
No. Why would you go Olu?
Because we've talked about how they might go Olu at 9. Because Braxton can't stay healthy. You literally said you'd be cool with it.
He had one injury.
this year.
It wasn't so. Yeah, no, he hurt his neck. It was a freak accident. It's not injury. It's not a durability concern thing. It was a
Well, I
freak
mean,
accident.
normally post-neck surgery is a durability concern thing. It's a neck
Well,
surgery.
it could be. It could be, but it hasn't been yet.
So who do you think it is?
I think the obvious pick here,
Dallas
like
Turner?
if we're doing predictive, the obvious pick is Jared Verse.
Oh,
He is the flusiest edge rusher that has ever
Okay.
edge rushed.
okay.
I mean, Flus has talked about forever. He is a length, height, speed guy. And Verse, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he is the longest.
It took us an hour
Yeah.
and a half to get through the top 10.
Yeah, okay, let's speed it up here. Broncos at 12.
Do they go Bo Nix? Or do they
No.
go Olu? Ooh,
I think they go with the
Olu
other
doesn't
side of
make
the ball.
sense.
I think they go the other side of the ball.
What do you think they're doing?
I think they take Lato.
Ooh.
They run a 3-4. He fits their scheme perfectly. He's the best pure edge in the class. It is the most technically refined edge in the class, and they don't have like a true standout at edge.
We're going predictive, though, which means it is important to ask. Do we really think Sean Payton's leaving without a QB? Or do we think they're trying to come back up later?
I think they'd wait.
Okay.
With McCarthy gone, I think they'd wait.
Okay.
So I think they'd go Latu.
Latu, okay. Now, Raiders. Who's faster? Quinion Mitchell or Terrion Arnold?
See, I don't think they go corner.
What do you think they do?
I think they'd go tackle.
Why?
Because they only have one on the roster, and this is a really good tackle class. And you only, like, how do I want to put it?
What, you're not a big Thayer Munford guy?
No, I don't think anybody's a big Thayer Munford guy.
Thayer Munford Jr. Let me correct that.
See, I think there's an offensive tackle that is sitting right here that can play right tackle and is like the epitome of the Antonio Pierce Raider way.
Oh my God, you're having
J.C.
Latham. He's gonna fail so hard.
I wasn't even going with Latham. I was thinking Fuanga.
Oh,
I think Fuanga would be right up their alley.
okay.
Good athlete, real strong, nasty blocker.
Okay.
Real good run blocker above all else. The Raiders are going to want to run the ball. Pierce has already said that's like his thing.
No, see, this is where Trey Benson goes.
I don't know about all that.
I mean, it is the Raiders, so I do.
Trey Benson's not fast enough.
That's true. I don't know are any of the running backs this year fast?
Isaac Garendo?
Well, he'll be a second-round pick. The Saints are going Olu and Ooh, are they? Yes.
Huh.
Yes. Yes, because
Okay.
it's the argument we had last week, but
You
only
need a tackle.
Olu's better. It's not just needing a tackle. You'd rather replace Penning in the hope that Ramczyk can come back. And
Sure.
Olu's a left tackle. So.
Yeah.
And
Now,
if not, you can always move him. So.
Yeah. And then here at 15, I think the Falcons are thanking their lucky stars that Turner fell.
Yeah, Dallas. Oh, we were going to pick him at 8, and we got him at 15.
Right.
Wow. We cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seahawks, I think, go offensive line here.
So, do you not think it's JPJ? Is like Graham Barton moving ahead?
I think it's Troy Fautano.
And just move him to guard?
So he's one of those guys that can either play tackle or guard, and Abe Lucas's health is up in the air. He's somebody that actually has had some injury concerns, and you only have one guard on the roster. So I think at best Fautano is your other bookend tackle opposite Charles Cross. At worst, you've got a really good guard that's just like a pure technician as a pass blocker.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to go a different direction,
No,
I'm all
that's
ears.
fine. I don't know. Abe
Again,
Lucas.
JPJ's fun, but apparently the league is lower on him. And if we're doing predictive, I want to keep that in mind.
See, and people said the same thing about like John Michael Schmidt, or not John Michael Schmitz, wrong guy. Tyler Linderbaum. And
Yeah.
Linderbaum still went in the first. But maybe it just wouldn't be 16, and maybe it'll be still like Linderbaum at like 23. So I don't know. All right.
I don't know if he'd make it past the Dolphins at 21.
Altanu. All right. Does the run on tackles continue? Probably not. The Jaguars. Terry and Arnold. Quinion. I know.
I think they'd go Quinion personally if they were going to go corner.
Okay. I think corner makes the most sense.
And I think he fits better for what they want in a corner.
I already clicked it, so no changing your mind now. The Bengals cry and take Brian Thomas Jr. That is the Bengal pick.
I think the Bengal pick is panicking because they lost a defensive lineman and yet again going defensive line in the first round. But I think they'd go interior instead of taking an edge rusher. I think this will be the Murphy spot.
They signed a D-tackle where they didn't sign an edge last year.
Yeah, they did sign Sheldon Rankins. That's right.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they did lose Tyler Boyd, and they're probably going to lose T.
Yeah, but I think they'd wait on a receiver.
It's the Bengals. When have they ever waited on receiver?
Oh, when there wasn't one worth taking at 18.
Brian Thomas Jr. Come on, Pro Football Network has him ranked as the 20th best prospect.
2 picks too early.
Then we need to go back and redo all of this because everybody has been picked too early except Caleb.
Except for Caleb.
And Marvin. Caleb and Marvin.
Yeah. I mean, you have Hill in Rankins, but I don't know if Rankins is somebody you want on the field 3 downs just because he's a bit on the older side. Like, you want to be able to rotate him in and out, and he only got a 1-year deal. Or am I wrong and Sheldon Rankins is like 27?
I have no idea. Could be.
He's at least... Okay, he's 30.
Okay.
Oh, and then BJ Hill is...
shit. I just lost the mock draft. I just did the wrong button pushing.
I just did too. It's okay.
It's so not okay. We're so screwed.
It's okay. We just won't do the trades, but we'll take the same players.
No, we have to do the trade. Oh, no, we don't.
Yeah, because you left the Vikings with 23.
That's true, and that was the only extra pick. Did anybody move down further than that? No. God damn it. I can't believe we both did that.
I'm just going to take the guys I know were off the board. I don't care where they go.
I do.
Jaden Daniels, you are a Cardinal.
What?
I'm just taking them in order so I know where
you're goofy as all hell.
I'm just trying to make sure they're off the board.
I have to try to do this right because of we have to have the picture to post tomorrow. Yeah. So the Vikings traded with the Chargers, 11, 129, 232, a first. And I don't know, I'm just adding picks because it doesn't matter. Confirm. They go JJ. The Giants went Neighbors. The Titans sprinted for Joe Alt. Then the Falcons traded down with Indianapolis. That was pick 1582 and a second, but we're adding every pick post second round to get it done. Then they took Odunze. Then the Chargers traded back up with the Bears for pick number 9. A number 9 large, 2 number 9. I'm sorry. Yeah. And they took Brock Bowers, right? Yes.
Who did?
The Chargers. And then the Jets were goofy and took Xavier Worthy.
Yes.
Which is our shot in the dark could happen pick.
Yes.
And then the Bears took Jared Verse.
Bears took Verse. Yep.
Broncos went Latu.
Latu. Yep.
Raiders went Fuanga.
Yep.
Saints went Olu.
Yep.
Falcons went Dallas Turner because they're the luckiest
Yep.
sons of the bitches. Fautanu to the seat. No.
Yeah. Fautanu to the Seahawks.
Okay.
And then Quinion Mitchell to the Jaguars.
Quinion. And then we were arguing about the Bengals.
Yeah.
Who you want them to take then?
I'd go Murphy.
He might be the better player, but I don't know. Okay, am I wrong? Isn't Jerzon just like huge compared to Murphy though?
There's not that big of a difference.
I thought Jerzon was supposed to be the space eater.
No, Jerzon is not a space eater at all.
He's like 350.
He's 304.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yes. I think you're thinking of Tavondre Sweat.
Well, no, I know Tavondre's huge, but
Okay. You know, Jerzon Newton's 6'2", 304. Murphy's 6 foot 297.
okay.
Same length. Murphy has bigger hands and is
Okay.
more athletic.
But Johnny Newton's from Illinois.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what
So, Byron?
Yeah. What do the Rams do here?
The Rams do Johnny Newton
Hold on.
to, replace 99.
And I get that. Okay. I want you to hear me out for a
Oh
second.
my God, no.
This is the first round pick the Rams have had under Sean McVay. Or at least the first one they've had in 8 years, since 2016. Was he around when they drafted Goff?
No.
Okay, so the first one they've had in McVay's tenure.
There's no
which
way.
is insane. Yes.
Okay, I'm listening, but
Okay. Do you really think McVay is going to go defense with his first round pick as a head coach when they have a glaring hole at left tackle?
do they have a glaring hole at left tackle?
Alaric Jackson.
Ulrich Jackson.
Same thing.
Goddamn. That they really haven't had a first round pick since Goff.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Who do you think they're taking then?
I would go tackle.
Yeah,
And I would
Mims or
say-
Latham, and I don't love either. I just, I don't know.
Not Guyton? I figured you'd be a Guyton guy.
I am a Guyton guy, but also not at 19.
Interesting. Okay.
Like, just because I'm a fan doesn't mean I don't know, value still, value, which means nothing. Obviously, the Lions took Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell last year, and Will McDonald
Yeah.
went in the top 2 rounds. So,
Oh, no, I would say going for a left tackle, which is what you're drafting here, Morgan would be the better fit.
oh, so just
'Cause
completely
Latham-
skip out on Mims?
Mims is tough.
See, just knowing Sean McVay, he might also just want the guy who best chance to be a star.
Yeah,
Because I'm Sean McFucking Vay. He'll work.
right. I don't know. Like I said, I'll let you pick the tackle here.
Let's go Mims. I just think that
Okay.
feels more McVay, and it's funnier
Okay.
because it pisses off the Steelers,
Okay.
who then go Latham and move Broderick to left tackle like they should have last year. Unless you think they want to do something else, which I would understand. I personally think they still go tackle. Or unless you think they go true left tackle and just leave Broderick on the right side, which I can understand.
What?
What?
There's no way.
What?
Did I fuck up?
Probably. What are you thinking?
apparently all 20 of the interior linemen I drafted just got wiped off my fucking big board.
What do you mean wiped off your big board?
Like they're not there anymore. Like Google Sheets fucked up and they're gone.
Nice.
Hold on.
That's awesome. Just revert it. Revert the save. I've never used Google Sheets.
They're there. They're there. They're still there. It's just my computer's being funky with it.
You think they go interior?
No. That I just was flipping through my tabs and noticed they were gone, and I was like, "The fuck." No, I think they would either go tackle or I could see receiver.
I don't think you go Brian Thomas here, especially in a deep receiver class. I think the Steelers do
Brian Thomas?
No, I don't. I refuse to hear you out. I guess no, I don't, because apparently Adonai is a fucking psycho.
Really? Is he?
Apparently. I read a thing. I don't know how true it is. Obviously. It's the week before the draft. I believe everything and nothing that I hear. Because there is a grain of truth to everything you hear, and that's just how it goes.
My computer's being funky, so I gotta look this up on my phone.
Yeah. Multiple scouts expressed concern about Adonai Mitchell's about his diabetes, which is weird, but it's the way when his blood sugar is low, the way he reacts to people. Apparently that makes him a bit of a psycho. Obviously,
so he's cranky when his blood sugar's low.
Right.
So he's human.
Yes, but like it's because he's diabetic, it happens more and makes him tougher to coach.
Yeah, this guy's off my big board. I can't deal with.
But what I'm saying, he's more.
No,
he's absolutely a Steeler, is what I'm saying.
I don't hate that.
He's a little bit of a wild horse, according to some guy.
You know, like I said, I can see them going receiver. I don't hate it being Adonai here.
Yeah, you're going to have to assign somebody to be next to him for his first few years because his issues are all about his diabetes and his blood sugar. When his blood sugar's off, he's rude, abrasive, and doesn't pay attention in meetings. That's why you get really, really shitty character reports coming out of Georgia and Texas. But when his stuff is normal and they get him normal by lunchtime, he's out at practice, high energy, best practice player, loves football.
So just keep a fucking Hershey bar on him at all times,
right,
dude.
bro? Like, just give him a fucking Snickers. It's not that hard.
Right. He's just not him when he's hungry. Yeah. That's all it is. Listen, okay. Genuinely speaking.
No, Adonai Mitchell's going to fall to, like, the Chiefs now just because of this report. And
if he falls to the Chiefs, first of all, you just set off a nuke on the NFL.
Yeah.
Right? First of all. Second of all, if that happens, I need him to get with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce's publicists and become the face of Snickers.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I need that. I need that. I need it like I need oxygen, dude. That would be such a sick ad.
It's awful, but it would be so funny. Have the him when he's not him be Antonio Brown.
No. Keep it on theme with the Chiefs. Make it fucking Kadarius Toney.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. So are we going Adonai here? I don't think he would go here, but I'm cool
I think he would. I think the Steelers are absolutely in play for a receiver at 20, and I think Adonai's the best on the board. Okay. And I think he complements George Pickens very well.
No, I just mean I think they go tackle, or more likely than receiver. That's just me, though.
I think you can go either way. I see the argument both ways, but
if you want to go Adonai, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I think we go Adonai here, and then the Dolphins. I think you just go JPJ.
Graham Barton. Oh.
Well, I mean, you could go, okay, so here's the thing. You can go Graham Barton if you want to go for the positional versatility. Because Barton projects best as a center, but he can play guard, he can play tackle. JPJ is the better overall center. And in Mike McDaniel's offense, the way it's ran, center is such an important
Yeah.
spot, and you need somebody who's stout and athletic, and that is what JPJ is.
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
unless they think Connor Williams is going to come back and his ACL is perfect, which unfortunately I don't think is the case, I think you go JPJ here.
I mean, ACL's weird. If it's an ACL injury, it's probably fine. When's the last time somebody came back from an ACL and wasn't right? Odell's had 3 ACL surgeries and he's still Odell.
The only issue with that, though, is Connor Williams is a top 10 center and hasn't been signed yet because of his ACL injury.
See, but football's weird. Dalton Reisner has been a top 10 guard 2 years in a row now, and nobody ever pays him. I don't know why. Reisner has to be like just a dick. Like, or something. Or like he just has like he's not a dick, but his personality is just kind of off-putting. And it's just enough that people are like, yeah, no, I'm good. Because Reisner plays way too well to just never get paid. But all right, JPJ, well, that works. Eagles Kool-Aid. And they don't even think about it. And it pisses me off. Because he's right there.
Kool-Aid. I don't think it would be Kool-Aid.
Really?
I think they'd go, if you're going to go DB, I think they'd go DeJean.
Did they lose Bradbury, or is he still there?
He's still there.
Oh, he's just bad.
So whoever you draft is probably going to play in the nickel to start.
Right. Okay. That makes a little more sense. And their safeties aren't great. No, they're not.
They have CJ back.
Right. Who's going to play in the nickel?
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't go DB.
Okay, can I propose something possibly preposterous?
I like it.
What if they go linebacker?
That is not what I thought you were going to say. If any team was going to be dumb, no, the Eagles don't like to draft linebacker. They just refuse, straight up, all the time. Except for that one time Nakobe Dean fell to round 4.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's just because Howie Roseman is the definition of positional value, which is why I would argue Graham Barton. Because of the positional versatility, you can work him out with Cam Jurgens and figure out what the better rotation is. Jurgens at center, Barton at guard. Barton at center, Jurgens at guard.
I don't hate that. I can get behind it.
And that's just such an Eagles pick.
Yeah, trenches. I get it. I feel it. I'm with it.
Cool. Cool. Kool-Aid. Sprint. Fast. Run quick. Run quickly. Run fast. Okay.
Yeah, so then what the hell do the Cowboys do?
J.C. Latham. Well, we argued for tackle. I could also see a world maybe with like I think Cooper DeJean is interesting for literally every team from here on out.
Yeah, but I don't think.
And actually, if Dallas was going to go tackle, it's Guyton.
Yeah.
More prototypical left, which is what they'd need. But I still think Tyler Smith, who played awesome when Tyron was out last year, just slides over. So they're more in need of a guard, and there's not really one you'd want to go with here.
But he was an all-pro guard. I think they'd rather keep him at guard.
And I'm sure most of that vote also came from the 8 weeks he played at tackle.
He's good at tackle. I'm not saying he isn't. I'm just saying I think they would rather keep him at guard and draft a tackle.
Maybe. But I'm trying to think what else they really need.
Capable of doing it. I think that would just be their
preference.
A
lot of things they really need outside of that, they can kind of get later. Outside
linebacker,
of unless you want to go DT and take Johnny Newton here, but
yeah, but Johnny Newton doesn't. Well, they run a 4-3. Maybe he could fit.
He'd be going next to Osa Odigizua.
Yeah, but they have very similar skill sets. They need a space eater. And they have Mozzie, who's supposed to be that, but wasn't. And Johnny Newton, you're not drafting him to be a space eater.
No.
I could sneak my boy Ruka Roro in here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No,
if they were going to sneak anybody up here, it would be Tavondre, which I think was in play until like last week.
I don't know about the first round, but I think he would be in play for him in the second.
No, I think he'd be in play here just because they're the Cowboys.
That's too much.
No, because it's the
Um,
Cowboys. They picked their player 6 weeks ago.
Yeah,
And it's
true.
somebody nobody's thinking about because it always is. But realistically, it's
Ricky
Michael Penix.
Pearsall.
Oh. Well, because they said Dak was leaving after this year. They're letting him hit free agency, so maybe they just go Penix or Nix.
I'd rather them go tackle. I would.
Okay, so Guyton?
Be like tackle. I mean, if that's the route we want to go. Oh, hey, I forgot to bring this up to you. Who do you think my comp for Guyton is?
I have no idea.
You'll like it.
I have no clue.
It. Brian O'Neill.
I do like it. Brian O'Neill's so good. But he was drafted as a project. Is that what you view Guyton as? As a true project? That's fair. Okay, I like it.
I have a mid to late second grade on him, but it's Dallas.
It is Dallas.
Tyler Smith was in the same vein when they took him. They took him earlier than they should have, and he worked out. So,
yep.
And then I think Green Bay would go Latham here.
But DeJean or Arnold or Wiggins.
But protect franchise quarterback.
Who's their right tackle currently?
They have Zach Tom on the right. Left, they don't have anybody because they cut D-back.
See, left is where they need somebody.
Yeah.
And Latham's more of a right. Could he be left? I genuinely don't know.
He's more of a right, but I mean, I think he's just big and physical. You could try him at left. If not, Jordan Morgan, I think, can play left tackle. I think Jordan Morgan's actually a pretty safe bet at left tackle. And could also, again, he's another guy that if
we might get a second run on tackles here.
Yeah, but if all else fails, he's another guy I think could kick inside.
I would say Morgan then here.
Okay.
And then I think Latham is a buck.
That would kind of go crazy with Worst at left tackle.
Because they moved Worst.
They have Luke Godeke. Luke Godeke's been a killer at right tackle.
Suck?
No, Luke Godeke
didn't he really, suck really until last year, I guess? Okay.
He was awesome last year. He was like a top 10 tackle last year. Top 10 right tackle.
Well, interesting.
I think. Let's see here. What do we need?
Chop.
What do we need? See, I'm thinking edge, but I don't think it would be Chop.
I don't know if there's another edge who deserves to go this high, but okay.
I'd take Austin Booker here. But again, that's me. He's more of a project. I have a higher grade on him than I do on Chop.
That's nutty.
Well, Austin Booker can play 3 downs.
What about Terry and Arnold? Because you just lost Carlton Davis. Or Nate Wiggins or Cooper DeJean doesn't really make sense here, but
how do we feel about Zion McCollum? Because I don't know enough about him to have an opinion.
I don't know anything about Zion McCollum.
Because that's their other starting outside corner.
Just based on the fact that it's Zion McCollum, I'd say take Terry and Arnold. That's just me, though. And this is the Bucs with Todd Bowles as their head coach. They're going to lean defense either way. I know we were talking about defensive players. I don't know where my brain's going.
I was about to shoot something, but it wouldn't work.
Shoot it. I still want to hear it. I want to hear the shot. I want to hear it clang off the rim.
I was going to say Johnny Newton, but I forgot they drafted Yaya last year for a split second.
They drafted Yaya and Kalijah, and
Cansey's who I meant.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
I had the wrong name with a Y that ends the last name. Plus, they were both standout rookies. When Cansey was healthy, at least. I like edge for them a lot, but I don't want Chop. And it probably
is edge. Okay, I forget who do the Bucs have because Yaya,
Randy Gregory, Anthony Nelson, and Joe Tryon-Shoyinka.
You're really expecting a lot out of Yaya.
Yaya was damn good last year.
Yeah, but you're demanding he become.
No, this is a nightmare scenario for the Bucs to not have one of the big guys here.
Right. See, and I'm higher on Chop than you are. I think he's easily number 4 here, but like the fourth
Again, if
best
Chop
edge.
was a
But
3-down player, I'd agree.
see, but does he need to be with the rotation that now none of them are great, but there's going to be a big
Well,
rotation in
I
Tampa.
guess Chop could fit here.
Right.
Yeah, now that you mentioned the rotation, I could get behind that.
Cool. I think Chop.
I can get behind that. Yeah, okay. I'm cool with that.
Hacha.
Um,
The Cardinals go Brian
Cardinals.
Thomas. No. Just double
the
up on
Cardinals
receiver.
go defense.
Okay.
But
Did they go
what
Johnny
defense?
Newton?
No, because they just paid big money on D tackles. Justin
they?
Jones and Bilal Nichols
Oh.
both making over 10 a year.
That's a choice that was made.
It's certainly
no wonder I forgot about it.
They also
Okay.
have Kyrus Tonga
Then
and Roy Lopez.
Terry and Arnold.
So,
Or Wiggins. Cooper DeJean is interesting, but
their nickel corner right now is Keitrell Clark.
yeah, and their outside corners are nobodies also.
Sean Murphy Bunting.
Was he already a Cardinal? Did he go back?
No, Sean Murphy Bunting was with the Bucks, I think.
Wasn't he with the Cardinals
No.
before that?
He was with the
He was with the Titans just last year.
Yeah,
But
he
no,
came
I mean-
from the Bucks to the Titans.
But didn't he go from... Am I on drugs?
No, Bucks, Cardinals, Titans has been his.
Why do I think he was a Cardinal?
Are you thinking of perhaps the corner that the Vikings
No.
currently have?
I thought they had both
No,
at one point. Weird.
I can't think of the guy's name that I'm referring to.
Byron Murphy?
Byron Murphy.
You know,
Yeah,
the guy
thank
who
you.
just got drafted a couple picks ago?
Yeah, the
Well,
lesser
that
of
guy's
two
son?
Byrons.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the junior, so... or are they
Yeah,
both
Byron
juniors?
Murphy-
I don't know.
And Byron Murphy the second.
Right.
Texas,
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that Byron Murphy wasn't good enough, so they had to make a second one.
Right. Gotcha. The Cardinals are in a weird place, man. Tyler Nubin. Hear me out.
I don't know anything about the safeties.
Oh.
I haven't watched a single safety. I'm holding them off until next week because apparently they're not worth watching.
I don't know about that. Tyler Nubin, the GOAT. That's not exactly true. I don't know, man.
I guess I could get behind a corner here.
I mean, a corner makes sense. I don't know. Cooper DeJean makes a bit of sense, and I think him and Marvin being the two guys you walk out with would be.
I think Cooper DeJean's the best player on the board.
Oh
right
shit! Hold on though.
What?
I just realized the Cardinals were the other team with 2 first-round picks. This has to be goofy and bad.
No.
Has to be. Them's the rules. They're taking
No,
like a.
just take BPA.
They're taking a running back.
No. They have DJ Dallas. Why would they ever do that?
Because they have DJ Dallas. That's why they would ever
He's
do
the
that.
RB4, so
Oh.
they're okay.
Who's their RB1?
James Conner.
Ah, yes.
Top 20
RB1.
running back James Conner.
Okay.
Top 20 in fantasy.
Yeah, because they give him the ball at the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
I would say
And also
glorified
UNC
fullback,
legend
but he's
Michael
never
Carter.
blocked, so.
You couldn't see me looking at you at the corner of my eyes because of the glare on my
No, I
glasses.
could see
give
it.
you I give you the fucking death stare.
I don't care. I mean, he tries to fill that role. He's just not good at any of the other parts of the role other than 1-yard carries.
Right. The least important part.
Yes.
I don't know. I like
This is a
I like
tough
DeJean
spot.
for them.
Cooper DeJean, all right.
I just think he's the best player on the board, and you can find a way to make him fit.
Yeah. Well, and like you
Bill's
said, their
here.
nickel sucks. He could just play safety next to Buddha.
Yeah.
Oh my God, do the Cardinals finally get their stupid guy who can do everything? That makes way more sense now. They just have to keep trying
Yeah.
it. One day,
They
one of
got-
these guys who can do
They
everything
got
will be
White
good.
Isaiah Simmons, who is good.
Watch Cooper DeJean suck because he's a Cardinal now.
No. Okay, so what the? What receiver did the Bills take?
Brian Thomas.
Is that the direction we want to go?
I mean, what direction are you thinking? And I swear to God, if I hear Lad McConkey, I'm kicking you in the teeth. The most overrated receiver in this entire draft cycle.
I actually haven't watched Lad yet. I've made it through 15 receivers, and one of them wasn't Lad.
Nice. Just don't watch Lad. It's better that way.
No, I'm going to watch Lad. I'm going to watch him tonight.
Who are you thinking? Who do you think's worth going here?
I don't know. I just didn't know what receivers are on the board. I just said.
I definitely think it's BTJ.
Yeah.
Being, the sixth receiver off the board? Fifth receiver off the board?
Yeah.
Hold on. Now I got to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sixth receiver off the board. I definitely think.
NFL record is 7 in the first round.
Well, I still think the Chiefs could do some goofy shit. So.
Yeah.
I think this is a weird trade spot. The Niners go calling. Latham is falling.
And what, you want to jump the Ravens?
Yes.
You think the Ravens would go Latham?
Why not? They need a tackle.
Oh, yeah, because they lost Morgan Moses. Okay.
Yeah. I think this is a spot where Shanahan goes, woo, it's time.
Yeah.
We were safe, but we're not safe anymore.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
And Detroit, I don't know, sees Terry and Arnold and Johnny Newton and a bunch of other people and are like, one of them will be there.
Yeah.
I think those would be the two spots I'd look at if I was Detroit. So it's like one of those two will be there, so we're fine. I feel like the Niners wouldn't have to give up that much, but I'm adding like...
I didn't even bother with value. I just did 2 first to get it done.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah,
although the value should probably matter, but
not
whatever.
It hasn't in any other trade we made. So yeah, I think Latham here, because it's a right tackle situation, is the bigger thing for both teams. Actually, the Ravens also. I guess they've moved Stanley around a bit in the past, but
yeah,
I'd still prefer him to be my left tackle. But if you're the Ravens, you could go like Kingsley or who's the other fucking tackle? That's good. My brain is dead.
Blake Fisher?
That's not what I was thinking about. But... Oh, we already took him, and I just forgot. I was like, Jordan Morgan, where the fuck is that guy?
Yeah,
we already took him. That makes sense. So like they could go Kingsley, they could go Blake, but I could also see like, I mean, the Ravens could be a team to reach on another receiver in this round.
Yeah.
But it's the Ravens.
I would like to make a out-of-pocket suggestion for the Baltimore Ravens.
I like out-of-pocket.
Johnny Newton.
Okay. That's not where I was going to go, but okay.
Put him opposite Beaks with Michael Pierce as your nose tackle.
Oh, okay. So, okay. That feels very Baltimore.
Doesn't it?
That feels very Baltimore. So
and I feel like this too is just like a BPA situation for them.
Sure.
Because with Latham going off the board, I'm not taking Suamata'i in the first round.
Sure.
I think he's way too raw for that. And Blake Fisher I like, but I don't think his ceiling's high enough to justify a first round pick. So I think when you have a guy like Johnny Newton who is top 15, top 10 on my big board.
And then I think Terry and Arnold
11.
Immediately goes to Detroit. I don't know if they think about it.
Yeah. He really fell far. Wow.
Right. That's why I don't think I think they knew, well, Johnny Newton and Terrian fell. We need one of those two, so we can move back and get one of those two. So it was definitely one of those things like when the Jags and Bills traded, the Jags had the Lions were like, who are you taking? Well, we can't tell. Well, you have to tell us that because we're not moving if it's one of, if it's this guy or this guy. And then
the Chiefs go wide receiver.
Hold on. Does somebody trade up for Nix or Penix? That's the question that has to be asked here. Now, we know the Chiefs probably won't make a trade with the Broncos or the Raiders. I guess we don't know that. Every GM has made in-division trades always. It doesn't matter. But
But I think it would be different for a quarterback.
Right.
Because the only
So
time I can think of an in-division trade involving a quarterback is when McNabb got traded.
right. So are the Giants coming up? Basically, is the question.
The Giants pick so deep into the second round is the only problem with that.
Fair.
Like they pick 15th. Do you really move back 15 spots with so many receivers already off the board and so many receiver needy teams behind you? Because the Panthers could go receiver, the Patriots could go receiver, the Commanders could go receiver, the Chargers.
I think the Commanders is less likely, but sure.
It's less likely, but I'm just listing off teams that could.
Sure.
I'm not saying are guaranteed. The Titans would be in play for one. The Packers wouldn't be.
No,
Texans
God,
wouldn't be. Falcons could be if they want to get freaky.
Dude, the
The
Falcons,
Saints could
enough.
be. The Colts could be.
Trust me, you already have enough receivers to not make the playoffs with Kirk Cousins. It's okay.
No, the question is though, who do you go at receiver here? Because you've got your speed guy, you've got your downfield threat in Hollywood. We don't know what's going on with Rashee Rice.
Totally forgot they got Hollywood, not gonna lie. I don't think I have ratings for receivers yet, but like my order,
My favorite guy here is Xavier Legette.
I think I agree. That's what I was looking at.
It would be between him and Coleman for me, but I think Legette, there's a lot of talk about his character and his work ethic, and given the Chiefs' recent history with receivers
not
who
giving a fuck about that.
Right. Yeah, I think you want to, especially considering the first good receiver you've had since Tyreek burned you with off the field stuff. I think you want a guy that's just going to come in, keep his head down, work his ass off. And not to say that Keon Coleman or Lad McConkey is some wild card that, parties with Scandinavian hookers or something. But
I thought you meant wild card as in going here. I'm like, I don't think Lad. I think Lad fault.
No. I just meant off the field stuff. My point is, I'm not trying to say everyone but Legette is a red flag off the field. I just know that Legette, his
Give me
character
Roman
has been
Wilson.
raved about.
No, I'm cool with Legette. I liked Roman Wilson more than I think most people did. But Legette, there's our first round.
All right, since you have the actual rundown, you want to run through it real quick?
All right, so at number 1, we had the Bears taking Caleb Williams. Number 2, Washington taking Jaden Daniels. Number 3, the Patriots take Drake May. 4th overall, the Cardinals go Marvin Harrison Jr. 5th overall, the Vikings trade picks number 11, 129, 232, and a first next year to move up to 5 for J.J. McCarthy. The Giants take Malik Neighbors. Joe Alt goes to the Titans. The Colts trade up with the Falcons to take Rome Odunze. Then the Chargers jump the Jets to go get Brock Bowers. The Jets take Xavier Worthy because the Jets are on drugs, probably ayahuasca. The Bears stick at 11 and pick Jared Verse. Broncos go Latu because I can't say his first name. It's just not possible.
Latu.
Okay. The Raiders go Fwanga. Olu to the Saints. The Falcons at 15 get Dallas Turner, who they were going to pick at 8, which is wild but possible.
Yeah.
The Seahawks go Troy Fautanu. The Jaguars go Quinion Mitchell. Bengals go Byron Murphy II. Rams go Amarius Mims. Steelers go Adonai Mitchell. Dolphins go Jackson Powers Johnson. Eagles go Graham Barton. Vikings go Kool-Aid McKinstry, which, if the Vikings somehow walk out of this with JJ and Kool-Aid, I'm going to be having the greatest day.
But what would you rather have, JJ and Kool-Aid or Caleb and Jared Verse?
JJ and Kool-Aid, because we already have a better roster. I don't know if I believe that 100%, but I'm going with it.
That is extreme copium, I fear.
I mean, we have Justin Jefferson, so suck it.
Yeah, we have DJ Moore and Keenan Allen.
Jordan Addison better than both. JJ better than both.
Who? Guy that's going to be a Bengal before the season starts, and guy who
my
caught
God.
passes from Kenny Pickett. Yeah, right, buddy.
You mean the guy who caught passes from Caleb Williams? The last year where
Yeah, so he's
Caleb
getting
Williams was
traded to the
considered
Bears.
good.
He's getting traded to the Bears
Just
for
remember,
Tyler
Caleb
Scott.
sucked. Caleb sucked without him, according to the internet. Caleb was
Blow up
awful
the
last
internet.
year. Blow
No
up the
more internet.
The Cowboys go Tyler Guyton. The Packers go Jordan Morgan. The Bucks go Chop Robinson. The Cardinals go Cooper DeJean. The Bills go Brian Thomas Jr. The 49ers trade up for J.C. Latham. The Ravens go Johnny Newton. The Lions go Terrion Arnold. And the Chiefs go Xavier Legette. And we only went 20 minutes over. Which means we did the entire second half of that draft in less time than we did the top 5. So,
Real quick.
oh no.
Just
the
to-
Pokeball.
Just throw him in there. Oh, that's not where I was going to go. I was more going to suggest the Panthers.
Oh, fuck.
What did the Panthers do?
Cry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then probably take Lad McConkey.
No.
Take Keon Coleman.
Sure.
Okay. Anyways, what's in here?
Pokemon.
No.
A quarter.
No.
Oh, is something from a movie?
No.
TV show?
No.
Comic book?
No.
Is it a football?
No.
Is it a booger? I don't fucking know,
No.
dude. I don't know what other things exist in this world.
Do you want me to tell you?
Is it a rock?
No.
Is it a lobster?
Starts with an R.
A Ragin' Cajun. I don't know.
You got the Ray right.
Ray McLeod?
No. NFL wide receiver Ray McLeod is not contained within this Pokeball.
I mean, it's a Pokeball. Why not?
Can't
Could be-
capture people in Pokeballs.
Why
They're
not?
not Pokemon.
Who says?
Pokemon.
Where? Show me the official rules where it says.
Can I just capture the trainer I'm battling? Can I capture
So
a gym leader?
what's in there? I give up today. I got nothing.
It's my pair of Raycon earbuds.
Oh, yeah, I would have never got there. I forget Raycon exists because it's Raycon.
Is that derogatory? I don't know much
I don't
about
know.
the company.
I just remember they sponsored literally everybody back in the day, and normally when I see you sponsor everybody, I just immediately assume you're awful because
Don't
you're
get
just
better help.
no, actually,
I
though.
know they're objectively bad, aren't they?
Yes,
Yeah, I was gonna say because I've seen a lot
for
of
many a reason.
controversy around
For
them.
many a reason.
I haven't looked into it, but I have seen the controversy. Anyway, this episode is not sponsored by BetterHelp. Don't worry.
Hey, guess what I found?
What?
The original draft. I don't know what happened, but now it's here.
Oh,
I don't know. Apparently, I opened a new tab and it opened it in its own window, and I just didn't realize. So that whole panic attack we had was for nothing.
ugh.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Come watch the live stream next week where we find out that we are 100% correct and we had the script because I am actually Roger Goodell. Thank you. I was waiting for that. Good work. But yeah, come watch the draft with us next week. Make fun of us for all the picks we get wrong. Congratulate us for all the picks we get right, which will be at least one. And it's the first one. So yeah. I can't wait for the Bears to come out of left field and take somebody goofy. That would be so funny.
They draft Justin Herbert.
Okay, if they traded the first overall pick for Herbert, I'd be there for it. And then suddenly JJ McCarthy's going 1 and everything's out the window.
Right.
That actually would be kind of incredible though. I'd be here for
I'd
it.
be with it. No, Caleb's my quarterback, I fear.
I can't wait for the switch up when Michael Penix goes 1.
I can't make it.
I still
I
think
can't even make the joke I was going to make
I still
about
think
that.
the funniest answer would be if Jaden Daniels went 1, just because Fields but older is funny to me.
It's all fun and games till the Bears take Cooper Beebe at 28.
At 28,
Yeah, they trade down from 9 to 28.
ouch. All right, but yeah, come hang out with us during that. Make sure to, I don't know, like, subscribe, follow us all the places. I don't know, all that stuff that Jake normally says. That's not my job. So, Miller, final words.
Come watch us during draft. I'm gonna go listen to new Post Malone Taylor Swift collab song. It's called Fortnite.
Bye.